Hello everyone and welcome to the first Sunday Shuffle. I'm here with Index, someone who I've faced on day 1 and 2 quite a few times, gotten beat up a lot, gotten close a few times, but I don't think I've ever beaten you so far. So, well, you're probably a good person to talk about the game.
We never actually played during the alpha, which is kind of crazy to me. But, yeah. I am rather experienced. Definitely not the best out there, but I can talk about the game. I'm looking at... Can everybody see what we're looking at right now? I'm looking at these decks, and... Whew! There's some... Okay, we've got Invade, Harissa, you know, classic. And then we've got on our other side some cooking going on, and I love cooking. Okay, this dude is wiling out with these spells. I can't wait to see it.
Yep, they can't see them yet, but they will be in just a second when this match goes. Both players are ready. The match is starting. It's Mailman versus Roxas, and I'll be real, I don't know either of these players. Do you know either of them?
No, I don't. I think I fought Mailman once, but he wasn't playing Invade Harissa, and never played against Roxas, so this will be interesting. And that's really what I wanted to see from this tournament, is a lot of new players coming out and, I don't know, somewhat making a name for themselves. Right off the... Holy, there's so much going on the screen right now.
Yeah. Whenever I see C's, I get a little excited. That's a card that I want to make work for myself, and I know San's not a player who's, I guess, very fondly remembered by a lot of alpha players, but I don't know, it was a little inspiring watching some of that C's gameplay. It was the same thing over and over, but he definitely had the vision.
Yeah, Sans is quite the wild player. And I think that he has talked about C's to the new players, and some of the alpha has been all like, oh my gosh. But currently I want to talk about what I'm seeing the players do right now, which is I am seeing Mailman perfectly pilot this Harissa, okay? And this is typically a really hard thing to pull off, especially when you're just getting acquainted to the game, is doing your Stet Invade combos with Harissa, and she is just doing all of these steps perfectly. Look at this. Very, very threatening combo potential, and ruining a lot of the setup that Roxas has going on with this strong pull.
Yeah, Roxas is getting in there with the wrench, but Mailman is definitely getting a lot more off of all of these openings, especially just not letting Roxas set up any of that bomb stuff. No big damage coming out from Roxas thanks to Mailman, and that's a lot of damage. Almost a KO. Roxas getting 1 health back, but still on the brink of death, but both players now incredibly low at the moment.
This is incredibly okay, that could have been it. Oh, and just at the very end, step/push/ what I imagine was going to be the W1 immediately afterwards. Just both. So in that first match, we really see Mailman showing that he can perform Harissa, you know, do his combos that he needs to do. But then we see Roxas saying, I have the pressure that you maybe can't have it all the time. At every single moment, I can keep it up. So definitely a pressure versus combo scenario, and I'm interested to see how it plays out. But right now, combo is clearly looking like it's dominating.
Yeah, Mailman's not letting Roxas have any fun, right? Just dragging all of these objects back. Finally, a C's lands, but no follow-up. The deck is empty, and Roxas not really being able to put up any of the game plan, but that invade is stopped for a moment, but there's so much damage being put out, and that's game 2 over. Wow.
Quick games right there. Oh, like, Mailman is doing a lot of damage. It is quite impressive. Wow.
Yeah, and just really, I guess, familiar with the deck, which is something I didn't expect, but there's a big damage from Roxas. 42 health and a dream, but Mailman answers right back. Not quite the same amount of damage as Roxas did in that moment, but Mailman has shown to be a little bit more consistent.
Yeah. Right now, up until this point, Roxas has been struggling to land all of their high damage moves, but the second that they land their high damage moves, you can instantly tell it's very big, very oppressive, and well, it does a lot of damage.
Oh, and a great 1-2 confirm for the finisher. I believe the auto slash, right? Bring it right back.
Maybe looking to shift the tides of what's going on right now. Oh, is Mailman swapping?
Oh, this is interesting.
That would be very interesting, considering how well he's been doing up until this point.
Mailman is typing. It is BO5. Yep.
Yeah.
And currently, it being 2-1, we'll definitely have to see how this goes, because if both players have shown that they can execute their game plan. I think Mailman, I hate to use the word again, but a little bit more consistent, but Roxas had, you saw that combo, it just did so much, and
the lockdown
outpace.
bomb that completely obliterated half of his health. Yeah, I think a lot of this is going to be dependent on if Roxas can keep up his mana, because I have seen a couple of places where he's been struggling with mana resources, and if he can hit his combos and do all the damage that he is looking to do.
Oh,
he got countered out of the tsunami to try comboing into the seas. Yeah, a lot of this is just, it almost looks, holy. Yeah, Mailman almost making it look like he has a pressure deck with how much he is just being oppressive. He won't let Roxas breathe long enough to get all of his setup going and do all the damage that he's looking to do, and he's removing his bomb placements, and oh, that could have been dangerous.
yeah, and especially, like as you said, the bomb placements, all the structures not really coming into play. Now though, trap for a second, but doesn't really get punished at all for being stuck in that top left corner. But as the seas comes down, there's a root, but the tsunami's just dodged away, and Mailman's defense this game has been so good. Roxas just can't get anything started so far. Fishing for a lot of things. Steps away. Doesn't get KO'd here, but the health bar is ticking down. One hit's all it takes now, and there it is.
And honestly, remarkable patience from Mailman as well. You could see where he was just waiting for something to happen. He was very oppressive that entire set, but he was deliberately not overcommitting in spots where I feel like most people would. Use just smart gameplay and then brutal execution from Mailman. Well done.
Yeah. See if the replays work out. Oh yeah, the replays are working. Yeah, I honestly really enjoyed that game, right? It was a clash between two different playstyles. We got to see Roxas really execute the game plan as well. It wasn't just completely one-sided in that third game. It definitely showed that Roxas had the sauce.
Yeah, and I think that I am glad that we did get to see Roxas win a game, because it showed you what Roxas' deck was really trying to do or supposed to do, and honestly, it almost showed just exactly how oppressive Mailman was being, that Roxas couldn't get any of that started most of the time. Still put up quite a fight though. Great to see.
So I'm just trying to snipe a round 2 set. There are a lot of them that are just starting. Oh, here's an interesting one. Okay, we're gonna get Birdium versus Gazelle. And I believe Birdium has participated in some of these earlier tournaments.
Oh, what's the lobby code? Oh wait,
Lobby
you
code?
have to yeah, you have to message me the
Oh,
lobby
well,
code.
good thing I didn't make it yet, so we're all
Oh,
good.
my bad. Oh, I thought we were just invading someone's. I was like, I was like, oh, we're impromptu. Okay.
But yeah, this should be interesting because I believe Birdium has a result or two in one of the earlier tournaments. No, I lied. Never mind. Birdium does not. But Bazale is a player that I'm actually sort of familiar with. I played them a few times. I know them from the Omega Strikers community, and I gotta apologize because one of the games they were beating me. Then I hit them with a raw rag, and then they were no longer beating me.
Just apologize out into the public. Like, I hit it. Is it really an apology if you're just telling everybody you hit him with a raw rag?
Honestly, that's true.
He said, let me just speak into the. That's like. Let me just speak into the public. I hit him with a raw rag. Anyway, sorry. Oh my gosh. Raw. Nobody. And I mean nobody, is immune from getting hit with a raw rag. It will happen to you if it hasn't already. Be prepared.
Oh wait, honestly, I have some advice to give. You know, the one thing that makes me feel accomplished against Perpiel is she will always set up 4 away, right? And rag can't be countered, so you can always feel good about landing raw Ragnarok while getting destroyed. You know, it's that sort of thing.
You go where she wants, and it's like, yeah, you hit me, but I hit you.
You may have killed me with 60 damage in your combo, but I hit the raw rag.
There should be extra coding in it. We gotta run this by Eden Dead. Extra coding in the game, where when you get hit by a raw rag, that's it. You're done. It's over. Or a raw rag, and they have no other damage tacked onto them, so they're at 100. You hit them with a raw rag, that's it, into the game. GG's.
Oh, but this is interesting. All that talk about Ragnarok, and here are 2 different characters, none of them using rag, but I'm really liking Bazale's Saffron deck. It's very straightforward.
Yeah. Oh, and it's called Fundies. I just got in. I am a big Gunner fan, so I'm rooting for. You may root for the Saffron, but I am always rooting for the Gunner. You will always see me rooting for the Gunner. And right now, I like a lot of what he's bringing. He didn't bring Combust, but he's bringing some spells that I expect to see. Actually, Breakout is not what I expect to see, but interesting.
And
we'll see how this goes.
From what I remember of Bazale's gameplay, there's a lot of counter hitting, and of course it's Saffron, right? The first weapon, it is that tool after all, but this guy will just fish for it over and over, using all of the mana sometimes, but right now just going for the easy setups with a line, catching Birdium off guard.
I did not enter the match on time.
Oh, you didn't?
Oh wait, I got it. Okay, we're good.
Oh, huge.
I was never worried, guys. Trust.
Oh. Yo, Bazale just getting all of the little damage, and that's the first game. The fundamentals.
Oh, then I am not synced up correctly. Oh, it's working? It's working. We're good.
Are you synced to the start of the next game?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. We're all good.
I was never worried. Okay, now let's see. Yeah, okay, so Bird is playing pretty aggressively oppressive, which is almost not typically what you see out of Gunner, but he is making it work so far.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Forcing Bazale into the back row most of the time. Birdium sitting right on front and not even invading, using a lot of these cards just from the front row, making it so that Bazale can't challenge.
I know, and this is very, very interesting. Oh no, not the boomerang and the crystal beam.
It really feels like Birdium has already adapted to that loss in the first game, not really getting hit by a lot of this stuff, and making sure that Bazale can't do any of the game plan.
So we got some footsies going on here. Oh, he countered the... Oh, that was big. That was so massive. If he had gotten hit by that, that would have done a lot of damage. Could have potentially shifted the tide. But he countered him during that align.
Yeah, and it's really feeling like Bazale isn't allowed to step even near the front. And we'll see if they realize that, because Birdium is playing this front so aggressively, has a deck built around just taking the front row and making sure that Bazale can never stand there.
I know. It's so interesting. Because, yeah. Gunner is almost exclusively like... Oh no, he missed his shield break punish. Oh, okay.
Yeah, talk to me more about Gunner. Like, how do people usually play Gunner? Because I think you use Gunner as your secondary, right?
Yeah, it's not exactly the best secondary, but I do. Gunner is typically he's somewhat a campy-ish character just because his W2 shoots him to the back row, right? A lot of the time you're gonna want to use like your step slash W2, and you typically carry combust so that you can do one of your weapons into combust and do pretty good chip damage. Yeah, but this Gunner is very aggressive and running breakout, which is honestly working out for him. I think that Birdium right now, this game is looking very, very tight for him, but it looks like he's using Crystal Beam as a somewhat his defensive instead of using the back row as his defensive, and that's allowing him to go up front. Unfortunately, gonna get clipped by that boomerang, and we're gonna go into a game 4.
It's interesting. I think both players have slowed down the game pretty significantly as a swap comes out from Birdium after that loss. I mean, now's the time to do it, if so.
Very, very interesting. Oh, he is running just as wild of a deck on Harissa.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot of different things. I want to see what he was cooking.
Oh?
Straight off the bat.
Birdium's a little raw with it, but Bazale with a little bit of a line boomerang. Not usually what you see, but it worked out there, and Birdium really likes these beam crystals, huh?
I know. And I think he's using them pretty effectively. Unfortunately, Saf has very easy ways of getting rid of beam crystal if she just takes the time to do so. And another thing that I would say is I think these boomerangs are really just catching up to Birdium, like a little bit too much. But he is making it work right now. Alright.
Well, Birdium hits the raw shot. Why?
Bow shot. Oh, that's damage.
Another one!
Another one! No way!
I don't think Bazale is ready for all this damage, but maybe he is. Has the line on deck, but goes for it at too far of a range. Birdium just dodges it, and this next hand could mean everything.
No way.
No way.
They're playing so cautiously. Oh, he got him. He clipped him with that. That's so good. All he needed... Oh, Purple is dancing in the background, knowing that there is a bow shot that is working out for someone. she loves bow shot.
Oh, this is such a good beam crystal, too. Bazale's trying to fish for a line, but has to get rid of that first.
And I like Birdium's usage of beam crystal. I think it's a super strong card if you use it right, and I would say that he's using it right. This is a very, very, very cautious gameplay. It's everybody is just trying to pressure, poke in neutral, just shoot out what they have. It's interesting to see.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, he hit the beam crystal.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Burium just going for everything, right? Look at the two cards in the hand. Okay, shuffling one of them, but just going for them. And if they land, that's such a massive health advantage that they're really making it work here. Getting the root as well, but getting punished now and getting hit by the boomerang too. But they'll bring it back in this 5th game.
I almost want to say that I see Basil catching on to a lot of stuff. He's still getting clipped by some, but in this last game, I would not be surprised to see Basil not getting hit almost anymore. He is being very cautious. He's doing his combos. He's trying to stay consistent. Oh, running into that for a minute. Yeah.
Oh!
Mm-hmm.
Just a call out.
Yep.
Well played.
And honestly, I think that Birdium played well, and he kept this spontaneousness about him and was playing safe behind Beam Crystal. But I could see the shift when Basil caught on. It was like he was dealing with Beam Crystal right away. He was like, I'm not going to deal with that. A bunch of different factors that I saw, and you could tell he was just all like, I'm going to win it. And so that was cool to see.
Yeah.
Oh, and the sportsmanship. You love to see it.
Saying, hope to see you in the next tourney. You can still meet later in this bracket.
You could.
It's a possibility. Yeah, we'll have to see some other matches, as now we're heading into winners quarters. There's I want to catch this one. There's Blue Link versus 8th, and yeah, I'm so down. Let's get out of this lobby. Let's find a new one.
Basil on their way out said, I'm aiming for number 1. Felt like it should be shared.
That's so real.
That game was tense. It was hard to know what was coming next. It was like, whew. But shoot, let's look at the overall bracket for a minute. Just see how things are going and who I know. Ooh, I know them. I know them. There goes Dazzle, Hydra.
Oh, I gotta toss you the lobby code too.
Yeah. Go. I will enter it on time this time.
So Blue Link, I think a player that we sort of know because they've entered both of the previous tournaments for this video game, and they got second in both of them, in both Gooses and Rafts. So this is a player that's been in the mines, and that's why their first seat here.
Yeah, Blue Link is talented, and I remember Blue Link from the demo, and he was talented back then too. I am absolutely not surprised to see that he's made it winner's side of winners quarters finals this far, looking to get into top 8 if he wins. He is playing against someone I recently just played. They go by a ton of different tags. It's in the Discord. Oh,
did you say 8th?
8th. Yeah. I just played 8th before the tournament started, and we tied, and I think he won a game.
Mm-hmm. 8's also been in those tournaments as well, placing pretty middle of the pack, but definitely getting some wins. So.
Mm-hmm. If I remember correctly, 8th is playing Saffron?
Yeah, that sounds right. Or maybe Slicey. I'm not sure. No, yeah, it's Slicey. It's LSC.
Slicey, yeah. He was playing Saffron earlier in the day, but not surprised to see the Slicey. A lot of people are running Slicey, especially with how strong Snow Cone has been, and being able to anchor cancel that. Pretty big. Pretty big for neutral.
Yeah, the Snow Cone, a card that has been very, very popular. I've been using it in almost every deck. This tournament has had, I think, Snow Cone in 18 out of 30 decks, which is a lot of presents.
I need to get a number on how many spells there are so that we can put that in perspective. Yeah, Snow Cone is a monster to deal with right now. It is very good, not impossible to deal with, and so I'm interested in seeing how this goes. Yep, Slicey off the bat and Blue Link playing Saffron. Looking at these decks, it's Frost Slicey. We all expected it with the Frost Slash and the Snow Cone, and oh, Acid Rain is actually something I didn't expect. And Fire Breath. There are some interesting cards to this otherwise normal looking deck, and looking at Blue Link, you're seeing some typical Violet. Oh, well, not exactly typical. You got Shotgun, you got Ion. We're seeing some interesting cards. Oh, Acid Rain right off the bat. Ion to Pressure, yes, and I wonder how Ion's going to affect his gameplay with Slicey dashing, since Slicey dashing is largely going to invalidate a lot of the break on his side of the field. We will see though.
Yeah,
he can't dash from everywhere.
The Strip Mine as well. I think Blue Link is very equipped to deal with this matchup, but 8th is still finding a lot of chip damage here. Blue Link hasn't really found a big opening, gets a 2-piece there, but hasn't really gotten any combo started.
And I feel like 8th is using a lot of big moves, but it's not actually connecting a lot of them. I think Blue Link is really focusing on his defense right. Oh, catch with the whirl. They're focusing on his defense right now, and then we'll see if he turns up or if he's just a super defensive player so far.
Yep, and is really, really wanting those extra frost stacks, but not really getting them, and has to be careful in these front rows. Can get counter hit quite easily. Blue Link is very, very aware as 8th is going in, and yeah, this is just a battle of defense, as you said. Blue Link not trying to get hit by anything and slowly taking a health lead.
Oh, raw whirl. Oh, he didn't do the W1 after raw whirl. Blue Link is playing so patient. So patient. All of this damage has been from pure patience. Honestly, this is very, very impressive how much he has been patient and how little he's been giving 8th room to do what he wants. That was the first Acid Rain he's gotten hit by, which is also just goes to show how much skill Blue Link is trying to bring to the table. Okay, he's dropping some confirms here and there, but he's playing pretty consistently. Nice dodge.
Yeah, and I think a big thing is that Blue Link is playing in a style where even if you drop the confirms, like, you just are so in control of the pace of the game. 8th has to panic right now, right? Has to try to get some damage in, and steps right into that shotgun as Blue Link looking in command here.
I think you can clearly see why Blue Link has been getting second at a lot of these. I want to say that he has some of the best defensive gameplay I've been seeing right now. He is taking his time, he's being very patient, he's not just throwing things at the wall, and he'll stand still when he needs to, which is something that is hard to get used to and you don't typically see. I don't think he can swap characters because he won.
Yeah.
Okay, they're just figuring that out. Interesting to see that he wanted to swap characters after winning, though.
Yeah, maybe he wasn't really feeling the confirms, I guess.
I have seen in the past players take a primary deck, and then when they get into the tournament, they regret it, and they're all like, I wish I had played a different primary deck, so they just keep swapping the second that they can.
Oh.
So maybe there might be something like that going on, though he was playing pretty well.
Yeah, it feels like 8th is the one who might want to consider a swap, because there's a lot of stuff in this blue link deck that makes your life a little bit hard on the Celici.
There is. I think that Ion restricting where 8th can do her dashes, or his dashes, is very problematic for them. They're just not going to be able to get the pressure that Celici normally has, especially with in conjunction with that strip mine. There's so much that's preventing 8th from doing what they want.
Yeah, and Blue Link really wants this Thunder. Isn't going to go for it there, but has a lot of cards in the back to whirl. Steps back for the Thunder, but it gets shielded 8th. Good on the defense so far, but the health is being slowly chipped away, and can't really find much offense because Blue Link is just dodging all of the steps.
I'm actually very, very surprised that Blue Link is playing Violet, because I've never seen them play Violet, and also they're not doing a ton of Violet combos. They just have the best defensive gameplay I've ever seen in my life. So maybe that is why they wanted to swap. We will see. But right now, whew, a lot going on.
Yeah,
Gotta get used to it.
It's looking just like a very slow game again, where Blue Link slowly takes the lead, but this time the gap is a little closer. If 8th can find an opening or two, everything can turn around, and the health lead is shrinking at the moment, but 8th has to be so aware of these crack tiles. Does get a little bit of damage down, and it's close to even. We'll see if Blue Link can land a big combo or something soon.
Yeah, 8th, it looks like they are struggling just because of all of the movement prevention that they are getting tormented by, like Ion and Strip Mine, and it just feels like half of the time they can't move the way that they want to.
Yeah, not being able to play your game is pretty uncomfortable, but that's a lot of damage onto Blue Link. The poison ticks as well. But the poison ticks aren't that much damage, but they do add up in the games now even. But Blue Link steps through and avoids death for now. It's down to the wire here.
2 damage. Oh, the weapons are coming. Oh, at the last. Ooh, that was close. That was close.
Last possible moment.
I already
swings.
swapped.
Yeah.
Immediate swap. I've never seen a faster swap in my life. Whew. Another Beam Crystal deck. And Boomerang. And Ion.
Interesting.
Interesting. We're looking at a lot of the same movement prevention that was in the VO deck last time, but this looks far more neutral based, far more big moves, and a little bit more leeway as far as all that goes. We'll see how Blue Link pilots it though.
Yeah, it's a rough move for 8th there. It's still getting a little bit chip damage, and Blue Link is now going for the damage here. Does get it. That's the Align Ragnarok special when your opponent's trying to dodge it, but can't quite get it out in time. And 8th is really fishing for these frost stacks and gets it there, and that's the linchpin of their damage, it feels like.
Yeah. And I feel like even though frost is the their damage, the most of their damage is coming from Acid Rain, just because and I think that's a very smart card to add for 8th, is because a lot of her deck falls to all of the control that Blue Link has, but Acid Rain doesn't fall to that control. It's just a very good 4-tile away move, and then forcing the poison. Oh, he's so quick.
Yeah, and 8th this time a little bit lower on the health department, but it could all turn around in an instant. But that's an Align in hand. You got to be ready to dodge that. Oh, but counter hit, can't get it out in time.
Oh, no.
Oh, it was so
Oh
good
my
there.
God.
Still at 5 health, trying to stay alive against the 20 health Blue Link, who does have the boomerang. 8th has to be so careful, doesn't get hit by the boomerang barely. The Tsunami, 1 health away and drop shield. Blue Link clutches it out, but that was insanely close.
That was insanely close. I wonder if we're going to see a swap from 8th. I imagine we will.
Yeah, I think Blue Link has had the upper hand in terms of matchup throughout this, so...
It might have won that game, but it was still rather close that game. So we're going to see a swap. And wait, are we going to see a swap? No,
that did not look like a swap at all.
That was not a swap. I alt tabbed to see their decks, and then he didn't swap.
just a breather, I guess, and maybe that's the mini mental reset that 8th needs, or maybe not.
Yeah. I'm sorry, something just confused me. I saw Ion do 5 and not 6. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Anyway, yep, getting rid of that. Sorry, I'm out of it. Getting rid of that Crystal Beam, and we've already gone halfway through 8's health. This is big. It did not feel like that. Both of them are at half health. This is a quick game.
Yeah, both of them not really paying attention to the defense as much, right? I think we've seen much more defense coming out for Blue Link than previous games, as 8th really wants to get rid of the bomb, but doesn't really have too many cards in hand to create offense with, but neither does Blue Link. Both have to shuffle, and now the game really begins, because 8th is going to be fishing for those frost stacks, but they're really just going to go wide and really depending on these raw ions for damage.
Ooh, oh, getting clipped by that, and then he didn't walk into that. That was smart.
Oh, that's an Align Ragnarok on deck. That could be the ender here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he didn't input it fast enough. He tried to hit confirm it. You can't do that. You have to buffer. Oh, that was a nice dodge. Right now, we are seeing an ender in the turn. Oh, he got rid of Frost Slash.
Yeah,
and
and
that could have ended.
Now Align Rag in hand. If the mana gets up, this could be the game here. 4 mana.
And 8 has nothing, and yep, there it goes.
Blue Link keeps their cool and seals out the series here, but 8th was looking scary for a bit.
8th was looking scary. I think at the very end, 8th got nervous. The world's biggest Align Rag hater. Definitely not a salt post. I think 8th got very nervous at the end, started dishing out all of his spells just as like a get back, you know what I mean? And then, but it was Blue Link that remained patient throughout and then just waited for his opportunity when he was shuffling to win the set.
Yeah, really well played by Blue Link, a lot of patience, and that means Blue Link does find themselves in the winner side of top 8 as that bracket progresses, but we're going to be playing out losers as well because, you know, it's early on in the game's lifespan. It would be fun to stream an entire top 8, and that's what we're going to do.
Ooh. Oh, wait, shoot. Yeah, okay. Look at the bracket again. Ooh. Okay, so we've got someone in top 8 already. We got Gazelle, which we saw earlier, winning by another 3-2 over Random Hydra. We've got Hub Skoa, which I personally thought he was going to make it into top 8. He's been a very strong competitor every single time I play him online. He's in top 8 winners by no surprise. Blue Link has just made it into top 8 as well, and now we're probably going to be looking at which set are we going to be looking at?
We're going to be looking at Tenebrae in another winner's top 8 qualifier versus Donkey Konga or Valerian. I forget who won that series. It's still being reported.
It looks like it's probably about... Oh, it's 2-2 for the Valerian Donkey Konga.
Oh, I believe Donkey Konga has taken the victory there, but it was close.
Oh, they have? Oh, they have. Okay. Yeah. So we're going to see a Queen, perhaps?
Yeah, it's looking like Queen, and that's a character that I've heard a lot of talk about.
I am actually a Queen fan. I can't pilot Queen worth my life, but I think that they're a very interesting character that you can play in 20 billion different ways. And for that, I always love seeing a Queen because I feel like I never see the same thing twice. It's always something different with them. Just because she has the piece she can hide behind, she has, focusing on making sure the piece hits people and combos with it, or focusing on execute, or any mismatch way between those. And their opponent is Tenebrae, which I have not seen anything out of. Apparently they are a Violet player, and they have been going 3-2 all the way up to here. So no win is invalidated, but 3-2 is...
Yeah, and Donkey Konga versus Tenebrae. Tenebrae has been playing the Violet, it appears, throughout this bracket, so that'll be interesting to watch this matchup. I think Violet, one of the harder characters to play, right? Requires you to space out a lot more.
Oh, definitely. It's very precise character, and you have to be very, very hyper aware of what all is in your hand and what is coming up in order to pilot Violet as optimally as possible. Right now we are waiting on...
Yeah, we're waiting on Tenebrae to get in the lobby. Yeah. They did have quite a bit of a wait though. Like, there were certain series that were taking so long.
Yeah. Oh, there they are.
Yeah, you can tell them we're good to go because we are. So, what are your thoughts on this particular matchup, like in terms of the queen structures and how Violet gets around them?
Violet can destroy some of the queen structures rather easily, but she has to give up her positioning to do so a lot of the time, using W1 to be on her back tile, when Violet really loves to be in the front tile and just pressure the opponent, get that mana regen, and hit tile 3, which most characters struggle to do. Right now, we're seeing Tenebrae use optimal combos with Violet. Oh!
Whoa!
Really?
Whoa! Tenebrae!
Tenebrae? What are you on? Oh, continuing that combo after getting hit with the W2. Interesting from Bala.
Oh my, that was almost another shield break.
I'm gonna call him Ball. Both of these players are explosive. Okay, it is clearly looking like we are in the... we are about to hit top 8 by the way that these two are playing.
Yeah.
Dangerous. Oh, yep.
Even with us popping off for Tenebrae, Donkey Konga had way more damage output that game. Just was always in the health lead, so... I mean, that was the first game, and are we gonna see a swap?
You know, I had never considered a line W2 with Violet. That was never like. Oh, he went to report matches.
Well, after that's cleared up, we're heading right back into it, and yeah, both players with explosive offense.
Yeah, honestly, they both barely gave us time to process what the heck even happened. Like, Tenebrae hit that amazing combo out of that, and then Donkey Konga was like, I'm not out of it. I don't know what y'all are popping off for. It was, and let's just go over some of the things that we've seen so far out of this tournament. I've seen a lot of Ion, which I'm surprised by. I hadn't seen Ion playing in matches normally, or really anywhere else. But I don't know. I'm a fan of Ion, so that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a card that I didn't really think would be this popular either. Like, of course, like I'm not as familiar with the game as you, but especially for an early tournament, I didn't really think that people would be favoring it, but it's seeming to be quite a solid pick in terms of just chip damage, right? When Donkey Konga lands it, they just usually get the health lead outright.
Ooh. And you know what I think I'm starting to see out of this is that Tenebrae is very much fishing for his combos, and he has his combos down pat. But Donkey Konga has a lot of general pressure that, like, his spells cover wide ranges, and Tenebrae keeps getting hit by them, and Donkey Konga is chipping him down just piece by piece. Nothing is true, but he's just winning neutral a bunch of time, like right there. Tenebrae didn't see that he had Tsunami in hand, and I'm not surprised that either of these players have made it this far, obviously. But Tenebrae's going to need to answer for this if he wants to make it any further.
Yeah, when Tenebrae has the advantage state is being pressed very well, but as you said, Donkey Konga is finding so many more openings, just getting the little 10 damage strings, the 12 damage strings, and those are adding up because you don't need that many of them to win a game, especially when you're getting them this often. That's it, 3-0. Donkey Konga in top 8 winner side.
Donkey Konga just proving me wrong at every opportunity. He was like, oh, you want combos? Here you go. He was like,
wow.
Yeah. Tsunami was doing wonders for him in that match. It, very, very big. I think, both of them are talented players. Oh. Is it my timeout?
No, not yet. Soon though.
Oh, okay.
It's okay, a tiny misunderstanding, but we're fine. Oh, that's winner side all decided. But we can actually head to losers for a bit before top 8 begins.
So, who do we have in losers? We have Hydra and Aneurysms. We have 8th still that we saw earlier. We have Valyrian, Luke's. Birdium has made it this far. Tenebrae, obviously. We have some names that we remember that are still in the tournament.
It looks like I'm just going to be staying in the same lobby for this one, sending them the code. And Random Hydra fell, I believe, in a close game earlier on in the bracket yet to Gazelle, who we saw earlier. It was 3-2. And now they're here, and Aneurysms making it all the way from very early on in the bracket, falling to, who was it?
SW, who is also trying to make it to losers top 8 versus Tenebrae.
Oh, okay. Both victims of Blue Link. Not both victims. One's victim of each other, but on the Blue Link bracket path.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I didn't think that there would be too many people that I recognize in here, but some of these names I'm starting to remember. Like, I think I played Hydra. They weren't using this deck though, so that's interesting. 15-second ping test.
Yep, looking like a ping test to get it started here.
Aneurysm's deck name is Riva Main. And oh, this is a Shid deck.
Oh, the totally not Shid special?
Yeah,
Interesting.
Shid combo alt 1. So
might as well learn from a good player, and I'm seeing a lot of good stuff, right? Toretta has a lot of ways to start combos. The W2, I think, the most infamous of them.
yes. Honestly, honestly, looking back, I'm surprised how many original decks we've been seeing. I was worried that it would kind of be plagued by alpha decks who just shared and then they come in, but a lot of these decks are original, and these players have their own their own strategies to them and gimmicks and combos, and I love to see it because this is a very, very creative game.
Yeah, and right now we're just in a ping test, so we'll be getting out of here shortly. But
It's enjoyed a lot.
yeah, we should be good to go soon.
Yeah, and we haven't seen any lag issues so far. Not to, I'll knock on wood, but that's been very good.
I'm looking forward to this one because I'd like to see Random Hydra pilot this Toretta deck. Something that, yeah, we've seen actually far fewer Torettas than you would expect, right? That's a character that I think is pretty appealing to new players, especially. I've still stuck with Toretta because of how intuitive her W2 is. And look at that! There it is, W2 Ragnarok.
Yeah, honestly, Toretta is one of the more popular characters, so it's very surprising not to see them more often. We've seen more.
Hello?
Hello?
Zin.
Yeah, Zin, what are you doing? Shoot, you made me forget. Anyways, right now, looking at this, Toretta with Ragnarok, who could have seen it coming? Both are at 35, exactly. Ooh. No longer the case.
Yeah, I think the big thing is whether Aneurysms just can start dodging these combo starters, because they are being so good for Random Hydra.
Yeah, dodging these combo starters, or racking up that damage themselves. A lot of this looks like it could potentially lead into each other, just like especially shield throw doing massive damage and rush and all that, but it's just hitting it. I keep seeing Aneurysms do nickel and dimes here. I'm interested to see if they can pull off some of these more complicated combos.
And yeah, we'll have to see.
He complimented him mid-match.
The mid-match compliment goes crazy.
That's the first time I've seen someone leave mid-match to rag for a wholesome reason. That's yeah. Dude lost a rag and went, "Oh, dude, that was so good."
And Hydra seems very practiced with all of these setups, and oh, that one, Aneurysms gets a big greed, does get some damage back, but it's still close. This time Aneurysms offense really keeping up.
Yeah, and right there, we could see why he brought shield throw on Riva, because Riva gets to replenish their shield at any moment that they want with their W1, right? And after the break made it not able to catch his shield, he just went to the side and caught his shield just like that.
Oh no.
Oh.
and is getting baited to stand in the closer rows, and Hydra is just capitalizing.
This is... Whew. It's very possible, though. He's starting to make a comeback right there. Ooh.
And so close. The Thunder... Oh, the Rag attempted as well.
Ooh.
Hydra getting a little greedy here, but is still very close to the KO.
Oh, ran into the world right there. But we were starting to see Aneurysm really start to adapt, start to flesh out how he's getting his damage and so on and so forth. We'll see. Is Aneurysm able to swap? Did he bring multiple decks? No, he did not. Or wait, oh, he just brought Riva. Maybe no, he just brought one deck. That's confidence.
Well,
oh, Fei-Shi.
Yeah.
My bad.
Well,
honestly, I've been trying to think of that, but I don't know these people, so. Okay,
yeah, I mean, we learn, and
we learned.
I don't know though. Yeah, like you said, she was doing a lot better later on in the round, right? So, so I think as long as the combo starters don't get landed as often from Hydra, like a little more dodging comes out, then I think that the game could turn around pretty quickly.
I am interested to see it. I love to see adaptation. We've seen a good bit of it today. I would not be surprised if Aneurysms wins this next game. Because I just really saw how she was starting to pick up on things. Let's hope she can pivot that and take that into this round.
Yeah, but Hydra has been just consistently good so far, but that's a great start for Anne there. And with that, they have quite the sizable health lead, but Hydra could turn it all around with a single W2 from Chiretta.
Oh! Ooh.
I can't believe it.
She used Rush, and Hydra caught the startup.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tragic.
And now, you know, Hydra's going to be going for another Rag here if Anne ever tries to step into front row. There it is. The damage is just too significant here as Hydra is keeping pace, even though Anne's finding a lot of openings.
Yeah, that's... Aneurysms is still in the lead, though.
Oh.
After taking 3 Rags. This is astonishing.
Yeah, Anne's definitely been keeping up, but this time Hydra has the combo, and that's the end of the series. A valiant effort, but in the end, Hydra figures out how to get that last bit of damage.
Dang. I really wish we saw a 4th game. She was just inching her way closer and closer to winning.
Yeah, it was such a good set, but it wasn't quite there, and we have only one more match remaining until a top 8, I believe.
Yeah. 8th versus either... Look, I need to have...
How do you pronounce that name? It's 4 letters, but it's hard.
From now on, mandatory, how do you pronounce your name?
Okay, I think it's Lux.
Oh, that, yeah.
Wait, but is it?
Right. Well...
No, it's Lou. It's Lou.
Oh, it's Lou?
Oh, French is hard.
French is hard?
For French is difficult.
Man, I don't even know English. What the hell?
And Lou has moved on against 8th. 2 names of all time.
2 names of all time. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, names, am I right?
And here we head on to the final. top 8 qualifiers, Tenebrae has made it over SW in the loser side. Wait, it's Lux? No! We were right!
What the heck?
I hate this.
I hate it here.
Nothing against you, Lux, but I hate it here.
Everything against you, Lux. I hate it here.
Whoa!
I'm kidding.
Alright, but...
And I think the worst part about that is you look at the name and someone says Lux and you go, well, that makes sense. Now I feel dumb. But yeah, let's look at what they've been running if we can. Where is Lux?
Oh, this is some C's Tetra.
Uh-oh.
And down. Oh, hello, Sans.
This is Sans in disguise. Can't tell me otherwise. Nobody else would subject people to that torture. So, we have Lou running
Wait, you gotta get
the
in the
deck
lobby.
of all time,
Get in the lobby.
giving every alpha player watching PTSD right now. And we have Ape, who was running Salici earlier?
Yep.
Yes? Yes.
Wait, you have to get in the lobby, though.
Huh? What's happening?
New lobby.
Oh, new lobby. I thought we were staying in the old one.
Oh, no. Well, I'll Discord stream. There we go.
I have made it. Okay, well, we're Discord streaming then.
Yeah, you don't have to quit. You don't have to quit. This guy will get in on second game. It'll be fine.
Oh, I made it.
Wait, did you make it?
Yeah.
Wait, so you can watch normally?
I
Oh,
just got hit by C's. That's
Oh.
tragic. Oh, okay. It's one of those games. Understandable.
it's the previous game with Ace was all defense, but now it's all offense.
It's happening. This... Oh my lord.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
C's Tetra downfall coming in full force, and
It's two of the decks of all time. It's Acid Rain and Frost versus C's Tetra Downfall.
interesting.
Oh my gosh.
As both players are fishing so hard. Look at that ion cannon in the back pocket.
Oh my gosh, he landed it raw. He was looking for it so hard. No, I can't keep doing that.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay. I was scared for a second on the punish.
You could see him thinking for a minute. He was Okay. Well, this is
Well, Chiretta. Oh yeah.
what a Chiretta moment. Oh my gosh.
Oh, and the Tetra too. No downfall that time, but it looks like Lux is very familiar with the Sans strategy.
Unfortunately.
Especially unfortunately for Eighth, who is currently feeling the brunt of the pressure here, and C's coming out again to pull.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no Ragnarok.
Oh.
Not enough mana.
He has landed that raw like every time. What is he built out of? Though it looks like he does not know how to deal with. Uh-oh. Oh! Does he know how to deal with Chi W1? Oh!
Well,
No. There is no dealing with
she's
Chi
got it.
W1.
She's got a 2-0 on the table.
Chi W1 is built different.
And
Oh, a
finally,
swap?
okay. This is the first swap we've seen from Eighth, right?
I think that's the first swap we've seen. Is it? No, we've seen another swap.
Yeah, we've seen other
No, we saw
swaps,
Blue Link
but
swap.
From Eighth,
Yeah.
this is not normal. And from Lux, I think Lux has been the one just in control. So I think the swap comes at the perfect time. But she's been so dominant in this series so far that I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the swap will make sense as... Wait a second. What is this deck? Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Oh, wait. There is... I do see it. They both ran into the... This is... DC's Tetra deck of all time. I love this.
Definitely interesting.
This is interesting. Okay. Oh, he hit the combo. He did the cheat thing. Oh my gosh. There's so much... Oh, dang. I thought we were going to see it raw. I was going to get so happy. Oh.
I don't know. I feel like she's just about to hit something into Ragnarok and the game's going to be over. Because Lux is fishing for it. Oh, but another self-sees, and that's not what you want to see, but...
he
this
went
is kill
in
range.
the order of Tetra and didn't get hit till the very end. That was great.
Wait, this is kill range right here. Anything into Ragnarok. Really fishing for it here. But does she have it yet? No, not quite.
Perfectly weaving in between that.
But I do think Lux is fishing a little too hard here. Oh, never mind. Oh, wait, maybe. I'm not sure. And that cracked tile saves 8th for a moment, but Lux is the one who will move on to top 8.
So close. 8th almost was able to heal themselves with the Nerviate.
Oh.
Oh shoot.
But yeah, that was a pretty dominant series, and we got to see Sans plus a Line Rag. Definitely an interesting deck.
Yeah. I think that leads into top 8. Yes, that was our last up until top 8. And let's quickly look over top 8. We got Blue Link Gazelle, which we've both seen. We've seen Donkey Konga. We didn't even get to see Hub Skoa, did we?
Unfortunately not.
He blazed through bracket. We got Lux, Hydra, Tenebrae, and Birdium all the way from our first match watched. Very interesting. I think that is up for my time, though. I will be transferring it over to Zin, who has been waiting to get in here. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Yep. And we'll head to a short break. See you in a second. Hello, I'm back and I'm here with Zin for the start of top 8. We have winner semis, 2 of them up here for you, and then losers top 8, losers quarters, etc. And Zin, what are your thoughts?
Oh, I'm very excited for the new matchups coming up. I'm actually curious because like they all have such a different mindset, like new players compared to all the alphas I see.
Yeah, and looking at these 2 decks as we start to head into game, these are 2 players that we've seen on stream before, but what are your thoughts about this particular matchup, especially because Blue Link has a full deck while Bazale is sticking to a very, very compact list?
I'm actually not in the match yet.
Oh wait, you're not?
You haven't sent me the code.
Okay, I'm telling them not to start. Okay, there we go. I forgot to send the code to everyone, including the lobby.
It's fine. Let me see the code. Oh, double Saffron. Wow. Wait, okay, so we got one versus like no one drops. That's very funny. And we have like a very compact list on the other side. This will be very exciting to see actually.
Yeah, and what are your thoughts about a deck like Blue Link's that has a lot of these high cost cards? Blue Link has been pretty successful with it in the past 2 tournaments, including this one so far in winner side top 8 right now. Generally, I guess, like, what do you think this game will pan out to be in terms of strategy?
Ooh, because I've seen both of their playstyles. It's like gonna be like oil and water at this point. Because like Blue Link has very solid defense, so he can actually use these cards in tandem. But I feel like Bazale will try and find all the best like combos to start with, like the most basic setups. We'll see.
Yeah, Bazale has been pretty consistent in getting those damage conversions, so the pace of the game is going to matter a lot here as we head into it. And yeah, I don't know what to expect in terms of this matchup.
Alright, bomb set up at the top corner. Alright. Ooh, a line into a push.
Yeah, and when that happens, I think both decks, like even the more compact deck list from Bazale does have a lot of ways to deal with the setup from Blue Link, but these cracked tiles, 8th had a lot of trouble dealing with these, and Blue Link is now fishing with the Align Ragnarok. Will not connect it here. Bazale has the dodges on point.
Yeah. Oh, they both shuffled already. Oh, Bazale got the kinetic wave set up for the cool combo with Boomerang. Ooh, didn't get quite landed yet. Think might get a confirm into a Thunder, but ooh, that bomb hit.
Yeah, just a really massive bomb hit there. Bazale positioning a little too close to it, and Blue Link playing this game so patiently. I think the defense, the highlight, because Blue Link is just slowly but steadily keeping up the damage while not really getting hit.
Yeah, he has very good maneuverability in his own side. And weaving through, he took some hits from the Fire Breath, but he's had a setup with the Boomerang into Rag. Into Warp Race, oh, potential. And then a bomb setup once again there, into a bomb. Oh.
Yeah, and with the Tsunami, that's a lot of damage. Only 6 health left as Ragnarok is thrown out, but this Ion Cannon could be the finisher here. There it is.
Oh! Let's go. Blue Link with his defense is very phenomenal right here. With a Rag start. Oh, Hyper Beam start already. Into Warp Race. Have the Align Rag already. That's bad.
Yeah, and I think a problem that's been coming out with Bazale's deck as the Raw Ragnarok is hit is really just that Bazale is not getting enough payoff on a lot of these openings, right? Doesn't have a big card to output that damage like the Ragnarok. Does have the triple barrel. Not triple, wait, is that triple barrel? That is a triple barrel, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, he's just fishing for Spartex to try and get a Fire Breath confirm. Oh, into Kinetic Wave, but like, yeah, his combos are not completely aligning at all. Meanwhile, Blue Links is just having very great setups. Yeah, like that bomb hit. Oh!
Yeah, that's not what you want to see if you're a fan of Bazale, because 60 to 9 in terms of health. Another Ragnarok. Blue Link is calling him out.
those predicts are very, very hard to land, especially. Ooh, Iron start, and then a tsunami into a hit. He might have triple barrel, but he misses. Another boomerang march. They both have very similar cards, some of them. They both have boomerang as the starter. And I think that's like a very well-rounded card for both players. But what do you think?
Yeah, I think yeah, the decks have a lot of similarities, but the differences are where I guess a lot of the matches being won, because Blue Link has a lot of these like finisher cards, these big payoffs in terms of damage, while Bazail has a lot of low cost cards, right? Really avoiding the 3 mana, but isn't really able to keep up in damage per opening.
Yeah, it feels like Bazail has to take a lot of hits and like use a lot of hits just to get like a fraction of what Blue Link can do with just 4 cards. Ooh, that bomb hit from what was it? Paragon, yeah.
Yeah, Paragon is a weird card, but Blue Link is just using it raw and hitting it a lot of the time, spacing very well for it.
Yeah. It also feels like Blue Link is just hitting for just raw in general with 0 setup. And most of the time, it feels like it's working.
Yeah, and with 7 health remaining, Bazail's time in winner side might come to an end soon. Almost a warp raise, and still 1 more card left. Hits it raw again! Blue Link 3-0.
My goodness, he is absolutely dominating with such an expensive deck. That was not... I expected Bazail to at least gotten like a proper combo, but because his defense from Blue Link was just way too strong.
Yeah, and it's just a really good combination of player and deck. As we're gonna head right into our next one. Gotta find a new lobby to be in. This time I'll remember to send the code, I promise. And yeah. But
oh wait, oh whoopsies, oh that was yeah, no, I'm looking at the replays right now, and like he has good setups with his bomb and beam crystal together. It's very good defense from making sure that Bazail can't do really much against his deck. The deck. Oh.
Wow. Okay. Wait. I didn't expect this much Saffron.
Yeah. Right. But also, this is a spear deck on Saffron.
Interesting. Hubsko, a player who we haven't seen on stream so far, but has been making it through, and yeah, is just going to be farming those spears and going for big damage with. And I'm not sure if it'll work that well, because Donkey Konga has been putting out a lot of consistent damage, kind of similar to Blue Link in that way.
Yeah. Also, very interesting. Skoa's having Toxic Cross into his deck, which is kind of rare for a spear deck to have. Usually, a payoff would be Perforate for like a 1 mana, like very high damage spear payoff. But no, he's just dealing with it.
Yeah, and it looks like Skoa's using a lot of these spears during the shuffle instead of just accumulating them, which is interesting. Going for a bit more of a chip damagey playstyle, and that's 12 damage right there. So maybe Hubsko is looking to keep up in the damage war against Donkey Konga, who we've seen as a player who has been very good in that chip damage aspect.
He's also, Skoa's also very much defending and respecting Ion Cannon a lot, which is something we haven't seen in the other players. Oh, nearly got set there. He has a jab and a minigun ready. Tried to intercept the tsunami.
It's
just
another raw Ion Cannon. This is a card, like, I think Index was talking about it too, but Ion Cannon's not the card that I expected to be this popular, especially later on the bracket, but these players are doing really well in calling out others' movement.
Yeah, no, me neither. It's such a surprising deck, and it lands very consistently with how they're positioning, both of them. Oh, that spear wave nearly landed, but unfortunately missed.
Right, and another one, and this is just neck and neck. Both players. That Ion countered. That's huge for Hubskoa, as now there's a tiny bit of a lead in terms of damage, but again, this
Oh, Donkey Kong. Oh, that rush that Hubskoa used to block the Hyper Cannon was very powerful. Oh,
down to the wire. One card can do it here. Both of them trying to find an opening as Hubskoa is putting out the chip damage, trying to regen a little bit too. 7-3 at the moment.
Donkey Kong's shuffling, trying to get a good call to use. Thunder. Oh, that confirmed from minigun to Thunder closes the match.
Well played. And that was down to the wire. This could go either way on all of these. And again, like, these chip focused playstyles that have a decent amount of payoff are really succeeding in this tournament. We saw it with Blue Link. We're seeing it with both Hubskoa and Donkey Konga here. Both of them are getting pretty significant damage on each of their conversions.
Yeah, they both have very strong like combo setups all together, making a solid deck for each other. We have Hubskoa constantly just proccing spears as much as he can, every time there's downtime, which is very impressive. Have a spear wave ready. Trying to... Ooh, only got one hit though.
Yeah, and it is pretty impressive that Donkey Kong is not getting hit by a lot of these spear waves and getting a lot of these little combinations to do enough damage to win the damage war so far in this particular game, because before it was much closer, but now there's a 15 advantage in the favor, but that shrinking by the second does get a lot of damage in. 1 health left, a good dodge.
I feel like Hubskoa could definitely make a comeback with this with a good chance. Ooh! He tried to contest the work, but it didn't work at all.
The top was a little too taken over, and now it's interesting, right? Because Hubskoa is not feeling like they're keeping it. Kind of similar to the last set as well. It feels like a Donkey Konga is just putting out a little bit more damage with each opening, and that's a massive lead for Donkey Konga. Hubskoa needs to find something fast, but it's not looking too good.
Oh, Kinetic Wave Javelin. Oh, I thought that's a very different combo than I expected, but still good damage, nearly evening out the odds between both of them. But that Hyper Cannon again, my goodness.
Yeah, just when you expect it to be evened up, another combination comes through from Donkey Konga, and the lead opens up yet again. These 20 damage openings, so good for both players, but Donkey Konga has been finding them more consistently. It feels like fishing for a lot of Thunder on back row after Tsunami, and that's going to be a lot of damage. Almost goes for the chess piece, but not quite.
Yeah. Ooh, he had to shuffle. Hubskoa had to shuffle. Still fishing for more Thunders at this point just to get all that damage in, but the miniguns are blocking both of them. Ooh, the backstab.
Yep, Donkey Konga playing it calm, cool, collected, like they've been doing for the entire tournament, it feels like, and that's a clean win for them.
Yeah, the Donkey Konga's deck is just very, very well balanced in terms of both area denial as well as enough damage to properly finish up games enough time.
Oh, they left, which means we could stay in the same lobby.
Oh wait, let me join then. I leave immediately after.
But next up we have Lux versus Random Hydra, and both these players, this time we're going to losers, so no extra life, but it's gonna be interesting to see because Lux and Random Hydra, both of them I think have been looking very good in their games.
Yeah, I was in the previous match, and Lyric's matchup was very interesting in terms of the matchups, but we'll see what they have next. With that C's Tetra though, honestly, that I find that disgusting, but that's just me.
As someone who has been less active in the alpha chats, in the alpha games, I do not have the same distaste of Sans, but I definitely can see why, because it is definitely something, and Lux is also a knower of the Align Ragnarok. And well, This is gonna be high damage on both sides. People are gonna die.
High damage, high mana cost, high risk. It's all or nothing at this point with both of them. And funnily enough, the term STD, I made a whole forum post just talking about it after Sans winning. So it's very surprising seeing it get more popularity. And we start up the match with a Hydra getting a good 30 damage off with barely any hits only.
But both these players seem very, very familiar with the Chiretta game plan. Of course, Hydra a little bit more confident, I think, with just going for that W2 into Ragnarok, fishing for it over and over again, and gonna fish for it again here.
Oh, but Lux accidentally landed onto their own C's, not being able to do much after. Now they got the reload, had maybe potentially a combo, nothing yet.
Yeah, but here we go again. The Chiretta weapon 2 in front row, and here it is from Lux this time.
Yeah, but the same thing could happen immediately after, unless a triple barrel stopped it. Ooh.
That was almost something from Hydra, but not quite. And both these players are in a pretty dangerous range. Hydra immediately shuffling, really wants that Ragnarok, but is taking so much damage, fishing for it, gets a little bit of health back, and needs to land something quick because Lux is going in. A line? No, Northwind.
Oh, I got delayed, unfortunately. Well, next match happening now.
This Northwind is a card that's undergone a few changes, right? It used to be 2 cost, now it's 1 cost.
Yes, and it used to be very low damage. It was not worth, but now there's pretty much a 1 mana Align, so it's actually very strong in lots of decks. It's just a very good confirm into like a combo starter. Just you have to just take into account hit step for it. Ooh! Oh, that. Whoa, that Ragnarok combo. Ooh, nearly landed that in return, but thankfully dodged that.
Okay, going for the combo again. Doesn't quite get it this time, but look at what's in the Hydra hand. Thunder, Backstab, and Ragnarok all appearing. Just needs one W2 to start the magic, but last time they fished really hard. They're the ones who got punished for just like taking too much time, so might be wanting to be a little more measured, but the C's backfires there.
And that W2 rag into backstab was just very beautiful, especially waiting after the C's leaves. He didn't want to risk any potential damage from that.
Oh, but this time Lux is the one getting the big damage at the start. She gets a quick 28, but right back in return, Hydra. I mean, these are two incredibly high damage decks.
Oh, they both have Roll on their hand, could lead to a potential combo, especially from Leox saving the Tetra and Ragnarok still.
Oh, and really good string from Hydra, just following Lux even while shielding, but doesn't matter when Lux answers right back. That's a big root, but not quite. Both of them really want this W2 to confirm into Ragnarok. And, oh, no mana, no mana.
Oh, no mana, oh no. Potential startup for Rag. It's just both Rag and another hit from Hydra.
Hydra up 2-1 now, and this is just incredible gameplay to watch because they're going for basically the same thing, and every other card in the deck is just a supplement for that one goal.
Yes, it is the most amount of Rags I've seen in the game, especially landed also. They have not been whiffing it, except that one, but still very impressive seeing them have the perfect setups for it.
Yep, and I'm actually... I think Hydra would do well by running triple barrel, right? Because they're running the baby version of it, the faster version, but they're not really getting the same types of strings in with the Thunder and the Rag.
I mean, I feel like minigun is more like a faster, safer option compared to triple barrel. But if you already have Chiretta, it's essentially just a landing from W2 to Ragnarok. Triple barrel feels more like a kill more and overkill situation. Especially with that string of Magna Gun into a line into push slash. Oh, and then we have Lux, low damage, but both of them same health now. trying to fish for potential damage. And W1 constantly swaying everywhere.
Oh, but no mana. Oh, but the shield break.
Break.
Oh no!
no!
High Hydra chokes. That's so tough. And it's game 5.
Wow, all on the final round now. Both have ball in their hand. Both have Rag in their vicinity. Try to land as soon as they can.
Oh, and a line. No mana.
No
Again,
mana.
so tough as good dodge on the Northwind preventing a lot of damage there, but Lux is getting a lot of damage in return, and well, both players still keeping up. They can't let anyone get too big of a lead, but this time Hydra the one landing the Rag.
I'm very surprised both of them are not running. Oh, that wall drag. Never mind, but what I was saying before, none of them's running any mana regen in any way, mana catch or harvest. Oh, a taunt? What on earth is Hydra accidentally doing?
Oh, but W2 is going to come out from Lux here. She wants it. She gets it. That's 20 damage in, but Hydra's still in the lead. That's a root. Oh, goes for more damage, but that's a Ragnarok right in return. Both of them are taking so much damage. Almost getting pulled up. That could have been it, but not quite. Ragnarok!
And another Ragnarok to end the game.
What a set. Only
Absolutely.
offense.
Wow. They all in. I bet they're both proud landing that many Ragnaroks in a single set. I would be.
It would feel a little disappointing at the end, but it went down to the wire. It was Ragnarok's back and forth, both players fishing for their combo starters. I think that was closer to what we would have expected from a tournament like this.
Exactly. I expected meant a lot more back and forth instead of just them constantly going for the Ragnarok. Like they did not care about like whether the other person had the Ragnarok. They just went all in regardless.
Yep. Great clutch there at the very end. It was a margin of 1 tile basically, and Hydra managed to make it happen. But we're heading to the last losers top 8 match. Tenebrae versus Birdium, both players that we've seen.
I wonder what decks they're both gonna have today.
And thankfully, the players have left so I can reuse the lobby. Oh yeah, thank you.
A lot more ease for the commentators over here.
Tenebrae versus Birdium. I think I remember being very, very impressed with Tenebrae. And Birdium as well, we've seen them on stream too, so this is going to be an interesting one. I can't tell you what they have because I forgot already.
Me too. Honestly, but they bought the Saffrons. Wait, no, the Violet and Gunner? This is very interesting. Birdium with the break. Oh, I recall now, the breakout beam crystal as opposed to the vortex and Align for Violet. They both have added their own interpretations for what we can add to the game. So let's see what's gonna happen now.
Yeah, it will definitely be interesting. Both these players, I think, oh, I remember now. Birdium was camping front row with Gunner, which is not usually what you see, but they were making it work.
Yeah, they had very good aggressive decks cards at the front, you know, to control front pressure. And we have the match starting already. Birdium showing the proudness of having a strong aggressive nature.
Yep, just getting right in there, and Tenebrae trying to set something up, but it's kind of hard when Birdium's constantly trying to interrupt you, but does find something. No, not the whirl. The line not what was right there, and it's tough. Birdium's constantly in your face and just constantly interrupting you over and over, and the beam crystals are getting set up slowly, limiting the available space.
Yeah, no. Oh, a shield break happening into 3 guns. Oh, they can only use the W1, no other card available to land. Another shield break though. Using all his weapons. Nearly got the kill.
The Birdium game plan really coming into play here. So close to getting the kill, but Tenebrae staying alive for now, but there it is, the push slash to finish it off.
Yeah, that was a very good aggressive nature to counter. Oh, a swap already? Is it going to be a swap from Tenebrae perhaps?
Oh, maybe? I guess not.
Oh no.
They're just sticking with the same deck.
Maybe like a cooldown perhaps.
Yeah.
But Tenebrae's deck is very interesting with the Vortex, considering Vortex and the Line are both 4 tiles away. You have to count with the wall in order to actually land your tipper.
Yeah, really banking on the pushes and pulls, but stuck between broken tile and Birdum, and that's just so much damage to deal with. Really using that cracked tile well, and suddenly just already, even after that, more than a 20 health lead.
Yeah, but Tenebrae's trying to even it out, moving the Beam Crystal away, having some cards, but no, Birdium's just constantly countering every single card. And now it's Tenebrae's back to a 50 health lead now.
Yeah, and 9 health remains. It's ticking down the poison as well. What a finisher! Just preventing Tenebrae from getting into front row.
That breakout's very interesting to see. Especially considering the fact that you're pretty much forced to respect it actually. Because you have to always try to not go to the front row at this point. Hopefully we see something from Tenebrae finding a proper combo starter.
Yeah, Tenebrae in the other sets really got the game plan going, but hasn't really been able to find their footing in this one. I think Birdium, just a playstyle that makes it kind of difficult to get something started when you're constantly just being interrupted. It's so hard to get forward, but that's a bit of damage, and Tenebrae taking an early lead here.
Yeah, they had used nearly all the cards to the fullest potential, especially with that double W2 startup to do a bunch of damage. Ooh! But then Birdium's bringing it back up into a lead for them already.
Yep, and Birdium now just sitting pretty behind the Beam Crystal, and like really, Tenebrae doesn't really have an answer if Birdium sits behind the crystal, right?
Yeah, no, except the only way is to potentially find a way to pull it into a better position. But other than that, no other way. So it's a very strong counter against Tenebrae's deck.
Yeah, and now as Tenebrae's health is ticking down, needs to find something quick. That's a good 2-piece, but Tenebrae's deck isn't really built for big damage, and you gotta watch out for the Beam Crystal as well. Clears it away, but that's an opening for Birdium. The scissors come out, not quite a whirl, but that broken tile again. Birdium is breaking these tiles so well. That's 1 health, so close to death here, and Birdium's just fishing with the weapon.
Yeah, Tenebrae's very good maneuvering to bait out the weapon, but still getting 1 hit slowly. Oh!
2 health.
Oh, that delay.
Tenebrae
Wow.
clutches it out at the very end on the brink of death. 1 weapon hit away, but still surviving.
Very, very good comeback from Tenebrae. That was surprising seeing that happen. They used the Vortex into actually landing the tipper in order to do enough damage to kill, which is very impressive to see.
And Tenebrae took the early lead there, made it much harder for Birdium to be as aggressive. We'll see if that can happen as well. Wants to go for the backstab here. That's a 14 damage combo, quite nice, but Birdium does so much damage with each of these cards that it's kind of hard to keep up.
Something very surprising about Tenebrae's playstyle is they often rely on using lots of W2 instead of the tipper, which would do more damage. He's focusing more on the pulling aspect of Violet's arsenal, which is very interesting to see happen. But unfortunately, the damage is not doing enough to counter the 30 health difference between the both of them.
Yeah, and when you try to get into front row, Birdium's deck is perfectly built. So I think Tenebrae has realized and has really stopped just trying to rush to the front row when poisoned. And now it's an interesting Beam Crystal moment. Big chip damage from Tenebrae, trying to find an opening here, but has no cards after the Align, and the health is even. It's going to be interesting to see who gets this first opening, and that Beam Crystal is so scary.
Tenebrae is actually making sure the Beam Crystals are just not being in a good position for Birdium to manipulate. They both have good setups, or nearly got that Align into a pull. Very surprising, but not too close.
Yeah, and the Gunner active hitbox is really helping out Birdium there. The lingering shots a little bit as the mark comes in. Good dodge, but 10-9. This is looking scary for both players, especially with the Beam Crystal in play. Now out of play, the Vortex attempted. Not quite. The Whirl, not enough.
Perhaps a line hit could finally happen. Oh no, very good dodging for Birdium. Now they're both still very closely even.
Oh, but Birdium has to move up here and just get zoned out. Tenebrae zoned out and Birdium takes the series.
Wow, very aggressive. I feel like Birdium's gameplay was even more outstanding due to the fact that Violet couldn't really do much. Since like if you have a gunner constantly occupying the front row, it's very hard to counter that, especially with the toolkit Violet has.
Yeah, and now we're moving on to losers quarters. Hubsco versus Random Hydra, and we saw Random Hydra's deck going crazy with the damage, but Hubsco could put a stop to that. Saffron.
Honestly, all the
no, my bad.
Honestly, all the decks in this set has been very interesting to see.
Yeah, and that's a big thing, right? The rise of Saffron in this tournament. Like, I did not expect that to be the character that a lot of these players gravitated to, but they did.
Yeah, it's very surprising. I expected that the more popular characters would be like Celestia or even potentially Gunner, actually. Seeing all this Saffron is very interesting.
Well, we'll have to see how it goes. This is a bit of a battle between two different playstyles. Hubsco chipping down their opponent while Hydra's just going for big damage. Very upfront about it.
Yeah. A small deck versus big deck once more. Something we've seen a lot in the previous games.
Alright.
We got a little bit of banter in the chat over here. And oh, now it's starting.
Yep, we're good to go and we're heading right into game. Hubsco versus Random Hydra. This will be a good one, I think.
Yeah, no, they both have very different decks. I feel like it'll be a lot of back and forth this time around, especially with the pacing for each deck. But we'll see in the match.
Oh, this guy just pressed Ragnarok immediately.
No, like hesitation at all.
And I think what impresses me the most about Random Hydra is that they're positioning a lot and they do raw whirl a lot and it usually lands. Like, it's really impressive.
Yeah, no. They have very good predicts on nearly all the moves, and that's why they're able to fish for those Ragnaroks very easily and a lot more riskier than other characters.
And that's not the shuffle I expected, right? Shuffles when Ragnarok's in hand. I thought Hydra would fish for the weapon too, but I think there has to be a lot to be said about Hubsco, who is willing to stand back but does get hit by the conversion there, and that's a lot of damage from Hydra. Tries to read Hubsco going to the spear, and again, like you said, Hydra is reading a lot of this very well.
But slowly and surely, Hub's spear waves are being able to slowly decrease the damage, and a good dodge a line to not tank that 20 hit. Wow. Oh, that double dodge, that was very impressive from Hubsco over there.
Not getting hit by the Thunder, this time as well, but that's not a lot of... Oh, Hydra keeps predicting these steps and isn't quite getting the reads so far. Is going for some crazy reads and does get the push slash in the invade to take the first game.
Yeah, Very impressive seeing both of them just predict each other's movement, but Hydra having the upper hand with the ability to do so.
And Hydra now continuing to fish as Hupscoa just needs a little bit more defense, it feels like, because this deck is not a big damage deck that we're seeing from Hupscoa. It is a deck that just builds up spears and chips down your opponent, and it is landing the spear wave, so it is working out so far.
Yeah, Hupscoa's deck. That align dodge though. But Hupscoa's deck is very much constant chip as opposed to Hydra's one big hit to end the all.
Oh, almost had something crazy there, but didn't quite have any big damage cards in hand. Hydra so close to greatness, but Hupscoa maintains the lead, trying to get a little bit more chip and uses Rush to just invincible through a lot of stuff, and I think that's going to be a big adaptation coming in.
Yeah, Hupscoa countering all those moves to not get any hits is very impressive. Probably one of Saffron's greatest strong point, being able to counter all the spells with how fast her primary weapon is. And that dodge from the Ragnarok's very impressive once again.
Yeah, Ragnarok dodged away. Hupscoa trying to find a kinetic wave or something. Oh, what a great opening found by Hupscoa. Using the combo tool of Saffron, as long as you're walking forward, you can chain your first weapon.
Oh, now it's nearly come back and into a final kill. Bring it down to 1-1 again.
Hupscoa making it work here, and Hydra's gonna have to start fishing, I think, a lot more, because I don't think they're going for the big damage stuff as much, and it's kind of hurting them because they're not going for it, so they're not getting it.
Yeah, also Hupscoa's being able to constantly pepper Hydra with all her Saffron W1s, being able to make sure they don't get any good spell hits, so none of the connects, so it's very strong.
Oh, finally a Ragnarok read there from Hydra, and that's big damage, almost a lead, but not quite. Hupscoa's chip damage has been putting in a lot of work, and that's the sort of stuff we want to see. Some more weapon 2 in the front row with a line on deck, but not quite, and Hupscoa is just so good on defense now, has adapted to a lot of the reads that Hydra is throwing out, it feels like.
Oh, especially that read from the Ragnarok. He even dodged, even though Hydra didn't exactly landed it perfectly.
Yeah, Hupscoa is just using the dodge button a lot, and when Hydra's reads are based on position, but also are just a tiny bit obvious on timing, if you just dodge, you won't get hit, and I think Hupscoa is really abusing that.
Yeah, especially with slowly getting all the spears prepared, even going for a small spear into a rush to finish the game out.
Hupscoa really showing why they're here in this top 8, top 6 now actually, and making the gameplay work out on the defense. We'll see if Hydra can adapt here, because they definitely can. They can find these big damage conversions, but right now Hupscoa is just doing so well.
Yeah, especially although the match is pretty even right now with the health. It was gonna have the both shuffle, unless from a combo from Hupscoa, nearly 30 damage health difference already.
It's looking a little tough, but it's all evened up, yeah, like you said, and we'll see if Hydra can find a big opening or Hupscoa will continue to win the neutral here. And yeah, I think Hupscoa has got the adaptations, has figured out the pace of neutral, and Hydra's not being able to press all these buttons anymore. The health lead is widening for Hupscoa as Hydra needs to find an answer fast.
And that very nice spear wave land. Oh, potential kill into a rush once again. Wow. And that ends the game.
Well played from Hupscoa. Hydra, valiant effort to get here, but Hupscoa just had all the answers after that first game.
Yeah, very impressive seeing Hupscoa use all his moves just in order to dodge, especially him being able to adapt to the timings of what Hydra usually predicts to land the raw, like spells. Very impressive.
There's something about Duelists though. These games are so fast paced, right?
Yeah, and additionally, they have so many things going on at the same time. That's just very hard in general trying to find out what on earth is. Like, sometimes it just goes so fast that you can't even like say it. You just watch seeing it happen.
Yeah, but this is going to be another good one. These are two pretty, I guess, interesting players in this matchup. Birdium and Zale, who have played earlier in this bracket actually. It was a 5-game set with Gazelle taking it 3-2 over Birdium.
Yeah, they both have very... Actually, wait, which one? Hydra was the one with the Ragnarok. What did Bazale have exactly?
Bazale was another Saffron, who I think did also have... Wait, did he have Ragnarok? I don't think so. I could be wrong though. We'll see in like 2 seconds.
Wait, why is Birdium here?
Yeah, but
wait.
It's Birdium versus like,
I
Bazale.
see. Oh, and it's Bazale with the very fun, nice fire breath. Triple line with the very basic setups. They both play actually very aggressive in the front row, so we'll see who will take control of it the most.
Yeah, and this is just such a strange gunner deck that works because Birdum is so good at piloting it.
Yeah, especially with just constantly pressuring the front row, but we might see Bazale being able to counter that with their spells.
Yeah, and Bazale going for these openings, but not quite finding it this time. And there's a lot of, I guess, incentive for both of them to walk up the front row, but I think Bazale's pretty comfortable sitting near the back.
Yeah, they have lots of spells that are able to just hit from very far distance. Additionally, Bazale also has Fire Breath, which can easily counter the Beam Crystal setups that Birdium always relies on a lot.
Yeah, and I think Bazale has a lot of answers, which is why Birdium in the previous set actually swapped off of this gunner deck. But Bazale still managed to get the victory, so we might see an immediate swap after this first game if Bazale manages to take the first one.
We'll see. Right now the health difference is only a tiny bit, only 20 health or so, but Birdium's still having pressure, just constantly spewing out spells left and right.
Yeah, this Flame Breath doing a lot of work for Bazale, like you mentioned. Doesn't have it in hand right now, but is about to. Going for a lot of damage with the step, and Bazale is so consistent. I think that's why they're so successful in this bracket.
Yeah, especially with the positioning and timing, being able to just lock in very good combos and easy setups. But now we got to switch to Harissa.
Immediate switch, just like the last time they played, and well,
oh, it's the Boast Knight.
Yep. Last time
yeah.
it landed quite a bit, and I think Bazale this time does not want it to land quite a bit.
Yeah, we'll see what will happen now. That root into Hyper Beam is actually a very nice combo, but into immediate shuffle.
Oh, but Bazale gets a 12 damage off of that. Really good punish on Birdum's movement. And this boomerang for Bazale is doing a lot of work because Birdum loves to dash back to the back row.
Yeah, but it's very even more wild seeing Birdium actually hold that bow snipe just to get that potential hit.
Yeah, Birdum has...
And again!
Yeah, Birdum has hit a lot of these raw bow snipes, but so far is 0 for 2, and it's not an easy ability to land raw. There's a lot of startup on it, but if it's successful, it is a lot of damage.
Yeah, very high risk for it. But now we see Bazale constantly spamming W1 to make sure it does not proc the bow snipe. Ooh.
Uh-oh. Bazale is having a little bit of trouble against the Beam Crystal, but that's big damage on the triple barrel into Thunder. We'll have to dodge the mark here, does so, and the health is pretty even, but those frost stacks are stacking up and could be 5 damage out of nowhere later down the line.
And we have Birdium using the Beam Crystals as very good meat shields to make sure their line doesn't properly hit. They both counter each other's game styles with 2 different cards entirely.
Oh no. Bazale gets baited into using the triple barrel. The Beam Crystal is perfect, and then we're on to the next game already.
Yeah. Well, nearly tried to have that entangle shot in order to do some heavy damage. Sending up that beam crystal again just to mess up with the align.
It's interesting, but this is a completely different deck for Birdum, which is pretty impressive, right? Especially this early. Picking two very, very different decks in tournaments and piloting both of them to top 8 is super impressive.
Yeah, especially with two different characters as well, so it's not even particularly like a similar character. You have to work with like the character that Birdium uses. Although I've not seen Birdium use the teleport very much often.
Yeah, it is. They're just using every other aspect, but leaving the teleport there. And oh, catches Bazale going in for some big damage on the bow snipe, but that's big damage for Bazale. The triple barrel into Thunder, the bread and butter for this deck.
We got Bazale doing a line step slash into a nice confirm. They were slowly chipping each other's damage, but we might see Birdium try to risk again and nearly landed that bow snipe there.
Yeah, Bazale really just trying to interrupt something here. Does not want to get bow sniped at all. The bow snipe comes through, not connecting. Bazale now finding a starter. No, okay, Birdum fishing for anything, but not quite found yet. And this beam crystal could be a huge difference maker here. But no, nothing found for both players yet. But this frost is stacking up.
Yeah, potentially. Birdium stuck in the corner constantly, got good landed on that cloud trap, but couldn't do anything much.
Good defense from Birdum, staying alive, wanting to get a bow snipe or something, but Bazale now is fishing, looking. Oh,
yeah,
but
oh
wow. No, that's not how you want that game to end, as Birdum takes a 2-1 lead.
Game 3 starting. Immediate boomerang, but then not much happening afterwards. Oh, you have a different setup from where Birdium placed his beam crystal now. He's gonna fish for another bow snipe, didn't land it yet, but it was a very good predict regardless.
And yeah, like you're saying, this beam crystal so valuable in preventing any sort of aligned shenanigans coming out from Bazale, as Birdum just gets to play defense, shuffle, do whatever, and that's really showing here, especially with that dodge on the align, making sure that Bazale can't get any big damage with the triple barrel, and I think Birdum's figured this matchup out.
Yeah, they're both Birdium slowly but surely adding enough pressure, giving enough in order to just get bow snap to just land sometimes. But still, Birdium's not using Harisa's like entire kit. It's kind of very funny, to be honest.
Yeah, playing the game, not the character, it seems like, as Bazale continues to fish for something. It does get a good flame breath, but is shielded away, and Birdum's defense has been pretty decent, but Bazale does have a pretty significant lead at the moment, trying to find an opening, has the align available, no beam crystal in sight, big damage, and the boomerang as well, 9 health left.
And Bazale slowly chipping away, trying to land that very nice W1s and W2s.
Oh!
And nice connect with that snipe into Thunder. Very nice.
And
is it final game now?
Yep, game 5. Birdum still going for a lot of raw reads, but importantly, beam crystal kind of deep in the deck right now. But we'll set it up regardless, and now that's an obstacle for Bazale. It needs to clear that out, but the flame breath goes wide, and it's going to be an obstacle for a while longer. A really good start for Birdum, especially after that bow snipe.
Wow, finally got rid of that beam crystal, only to have another one immediately placed after. Bazale had to shuffle and now trying to find a new way to get rid of it immediately. With Birdium dodging nearly all his Frost Barrages, don't want to stack any Frost procs from him.
Both of them trying to find something here, but interrupted is Bazale. Beam Crystal usage is so good from Birdum. I think that one card is creating so much grief for Bazale in this matchup, and they got to figure out how to deal with it quickly because it's going to come up again.
Yeah, and then Bazale nearly had that kinetic triple wave combo. That would have been very scary to see. Brazil still holding on to that false barrage, and Birdium just walked through it, not dodging.
Oh, and it just feels a little difficult for Brazil to get a starter going. Not playing a character like Chiretta can't really find an opening out of nowhere by hoping your opponent gets hit by a W2 or something. Going for the align, triple barrel lands, but that's 2 hits, nothing else, and this health lead is mounting for Birdum.
Brazil's only way to actually get the health lead any lower is through his very good precise W1s. Tried to land that triple barrel, but unfortunately did not work. Oh!
That's big damage. That's what Brazil needs. Takes the lead in this final game. Not getting hit by the Bow Snipe either. Playing this so cautiously. And getting more chip damage. That was a huge play. The Beam Crystal working against Birdum there. And now Brazil in such a massive lead. Just needs 1 hit.
Oh, Birdiums haven't shuffled yet, trying to get that 12 damage. Only got 1 hit from that Iron Cannon yet.
I just really like how Brazil is getting in there. And I think the big difference maker at the end was just how Brazil was interrupting. Using that Saffron W1 so well.
That was a very good game she saw over there. Especially the back and forth. And especially Birdium switching into the Bow Snipe and actually landing them as always.
Alright, but that ends my block with you, I believe. And
yeah.
So you said it was your first time commentating?
Yeah, this is completely way too last minute in my honest opinion. This is kind of my fault. I did not mean to, but it was actually a good experience.
No, it was really fun, and yeah.
Thank you so much for hosting. Yeah, it's very late for me actually right now. I'm still in EU, so yeah, so this is like completely out. But it was still very fun. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. Yeah,
and thank you for coming on. Hopefully the rest of the people on the winner side, y'all gotta get good. Y'all gotta show some cool ass clips for me to see tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I'll see you guys later.
Heading to a short break, and we'll be back with Softlock, who is in this VC, but we don't talk about that. Hello, we're back with top 4. I'm here with Softlock, another player from the alpha. We've gone through 3 of them now. You're the third, and you want to introduce yourself to maybe some of the newer players?
I'm Softlock. I play video games, and I commentate video games very rarely, but sometimes.
Nice. Yeah, so we're gonna head right into top 4. We're gonna start off with winners final. Blue Link versus Donkey Konga, both players that have had a lot of success in their defense, it feels like.
Also very exciting because they're both defensive players, but they both play very differently.
So, looking at this matchup, right, actually, first of all, I've been saying this a lot, but it's not just me, right? Like, no one expected this many Saffrons.
I mean, it makes sense in retrospect. Like, character just got buffed a lot, and it is a pretty strong beginner character. So, especially right now when a lot of people don't have a lot of experience with the game, it kind of makes sense that Saffron's everywhere.
All right, and speaking of those buffs, can you explain the buffs? I'm not familiar.
The main one was the thing that's been huge is before I think it's the W1, which is just the shot. I believe it did 1 damage before, and now it's at 2. So when Saffrons are getting those chains of W1, 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 just the extra damage, which is not the biggest thing in the world, but it definitely is just a nice way to get extra damage here and there. Especially watching Upscoa play, they hit maybe like 10 of those per match, so that's just an extra 10 damage.
Yeah, they're really proficient at just walking forward to chain them together and doing it into any kind of combo. It's interesting.
Looking at the decks between these two players, both of them have some pretty hard-hitting cards, but Blue Link obviously hits a little harder with Warp Raise, Tsunami, Hyper Beam, and Rack. That is a strong deck.
Yeah, it's looking a little bit scary, but it's a bit of a polar opposite. Not a polar opposite. It's pretty similar, right? Both these players have cards that they could throw out. We've seen a lot of Ion Cannon, I believe, this tournament, a surprisingly large amount, and people are hitting it in neutral a lot. They're getting the reads.
Especially nice for a deck like Donkey Konga's, because it just controls so much space and really lets them hit things like Hyper Beam. Once the middle just controlled, it forces people to the outsides, and that's a free Hyper Beam.
Really good push slash there to get a little bit of damage with the bomb, and even though Blue Link had a massive lead, I think Donkey Konga just slowly inching their way back into the game, but gotta watch out because Blue Link has been so good at landing everything, basically, in their deck, just raw.
Blue Link's definitely doing a great job just zoning out with Beam Crystals, just to recover the mana and then go for those huge plays.
Going for another huge play and really just trying to... I don't know, I'm not really seeing too many combos come out from Blue Link, right? They're mostly just going for the reads to cover a lot of space and prevent Donkey Konga from moving freely, especially when the center tiles are broken. And when that happens, the damage just adds up.
It's also just nowhere is safe when you're up against stuff like Paragon, which are just... there's so many things in Blue Link's deck to just avoid, like the raw Warp Raise right there.
Blue Link taking the first game. And we're gonna have to see if, because Donkey Konga has displayed their defensive prowess in their previous sets, but right now there's just so much that you have to constantly be aware of. I think something that a lot of alpha players have mentioned is just looking at the opponent's hand as well.
Definitely looking forward to see Donkey Konga adapt to Warp Raise, because that seems to be what Blue Link's hitting the most right now.
Yeah,
it's
a nasty combo too, right? The Hyper Beam and the Warp Raise, similar cards that hit basically opposite tiles.
Yeah, especially running Queen too. The chess piece just covers another full run.
Oh, maybe some kind of opening for Donkey Konga though. They have quite the lead and they're trying to move up a little bit, but they have to watch out because there's so much threats covering the map. The chess piece, the beam crystal, the map just feels so much more cramped with these two decks.
Blue Link's field for a moment there was just beam crystal, chess piece, 4 tiles in the center broken. Where do you stand?
Nowhere to go as the health is being chipped away. And like you said, I think the defensive adaptation has come in for Donkey Konga. They're not really getting hit by the big damage stuff, but as I say that, the warp rays come in for 14 damage.
They still have plenty of health to work with though. Blue Link has a bit of an uphill battle here to take this game. It looks like they're getting quite a few neutral wins in a row.
The line comes in, but doesn't quite get anything else off the raw. Hyper beams from both sides, not quite connecting, as Blue Link's field is once again shrinking.
Konga's also just doing such a great job controlling the bombs that Blue Link is throwing between a line and push slash, just making sure it's never there to trap them.
Yep, and that game was pretty dominant in the favor of Donkey Konga. Like you said, the defensive adaptation really coming in full force, and especially when those structures are sent to Blue Link's side, it's kind of hard to use a lot of these hard read cards.
Zion Cannon especially, just so suffocating. It's so hard for Blue Link to line up the rags when they just can't stand on half of their field. Whereas if their field's broken, you know, they can still stand anywhere. And they can just hit Hyper Beam from anywhere. Like that.
I think also a big difference, right, is that Donkey Konga's deck is much more, I guess, well balanced, it feels like, in terms of utility, while Blue Link is throwing out a lot of stuff and does have the Beam Crystal on defense, but doesn't really feel like they have a lot of ways to like get around what Donkey Konga's doing.
Blue Link's deck also seems very primed to with punish people, and when Donkey Kong's just playing so safe and not really giving any opportunities for it, takes it with backstab.
That's another game done. Donkey Konga 1 away from winner side of Grand Finals, but big warp rays, big damage coming in for Blue Link early. But as you mentioned, the bomb management, the bombs are not being allowed to stay on Donkey Konga's side at all.
Blue Link starting off this game very strongly, just not letting themselves be hit. But right as I say that, Donkey Konga gets a nice opening in. The
raw hyper beams have been quite the card for both of these players, but once again the warp race coming in, and this is a game where Blue Link is getting a lot of hits in early for that health lead, but we'll still have to try to find something as the kinetic wave makes the bomb hurt the sender, and well, the lead has narrowed quite a bit.
Blue Link still with a slight lead here, but Donkey Konga bringing it back, and just like that, they're in the lead.
Really nice two-piece coming out from Donkey Konga, and again the Thunder, these small conversions are so big. A lot of combo starters as well, but that's a lot of damage back, and it's just so close, especially when the Tsunami lands, 1 health remaining.
Blue Link not gonna go down that easy.
A line Ragnarok, and
oh, there it is!
Ooh, okay, I did not expect that at all. Donkey Konga had been so on point on the defense, but Blue Link at the last possible moment gets what he hasn't actually gone for the entire set, right?
I think that's the first line rag I've seen the whole set, maybe even the first rag. Blue Link's edge in this matchup that they're really playing to right now is Beam Crystal is just so good for them. Just completely walls out, Hyper Beam.
The Hyper Beam now being fished for again, but a great Tsunami traps Donkey Konga's movement at the top side. That's damage, but Donkey Konga is keeping up in the damage war this time.
One thing I'd love to see Blue Link do a little more is just when Donkey Konga is shuffling to stand in the front to just get that extra mana regen, right? Because Queen can't really threaten you when they have no cards in hand.
Blue Link and the back row a lot, but that means backstab is so good for Donkey Konga, who is starting to get a lot more of these openings. Blue Link now getting 1 hit of the Hyper Beam, but not too many, and they're trying to continue onwards, but this bomb is so scary. Donkey Konga caught.
Bloom's side was so claustrophobic there for a while, but they managed to get out and now have a very dominant lead.
And Donkey Kong is going to watch out movement-wise, but the cards don't connect, and both players sitting at an awkward spot, trying to fish for something.
Team Crystal almost hits, but Donkey Kong just avoids it.
Gotta be so careful because that Ragnarok's in play, and Donkey Kong not having something to punish there.
Oh, hits the line, but too nervous to pull the rag. Warp Raise the bomb away. That was very good. 1 health. And hits it. Donkey Konga will be on winner's side.
Really clutch at the end, not panicking at all, and unfortunate that Blue Link was in the position for the rag, but just not quite.
That was a great set. Right down to the line.
Yeah, all 5 games, and makes me excited for the future sets as well, because Blue Link could still make it back to Grands for that rematch. But right now it's Hubskoa versus Gazelle, 2 players who were both in winner's side earlier, fell to Donkey Konga and Blue Link respectively, but now both of them are trying to challenge them again here.
Completely different decks in this match than the last one. Instead of those just massive AoE cards, both people just have a lot of straight line combo cards. So definitely a bit of spread moves with some aligns and cross barrages from Gazelle and a Spear Wave from Hubskoa.
It's gonna be interesting, especially because both of these decks aren't necessarily the biggest payoff ones, right? They don't have the juicy Ragnarok, but they both do just a lot of consistent damage, it feels like.
Oh, I guess that's really where that Saffron buff is shining.
Oh, but the Hubskoa deck was a little confusing to me. Could you explain a little bit of what you think about it?
From watching what they're doing, it's a very well constructed deck where they're kind of just sitting in the back farming spears, and whenever they have an opportunity, whenever they hit one of Saffron's W1s, they can follow up by moving forward with more of them and then chaining into all of their combo cards like Javelin and Spear Wave. Then another way they can also get their openings is catching someone on the front row with a rush, which leads to the same type of combos.
So a deck that really makes use of the Saffron strengths with the new W1 damage, huh? But
Gazelle definitely has an edge, pressuring the back row though with cards like Boomerang.
Yeah, the Boomerang has been really big for Gazelle. Has been catching a lot of players as well. I remember when Boomerang was incredibly high use rate, I think during one of the playtests, but I think has dropped a lot in pick rate, but Gazelle's making it work very well here.
Great card to cover the area where none of their other cards can.
But one of the bigger challenges that Gazelle does face though is trying to get a starter on Hubskoa, who is standing at the back, right? Can't really find that big damage reliably when the Boomerang is the main tool to try and get Hubskoa out. But you know, sometimes you'll just take that chip damage. Gazelle's in the lead.
Just the combination of those W1s and Boomerangs is just adding up to such consistent chip damage. I think quite a few of them, quite a few Boomerangs.
Oh, that's what you were talking about, the Saffron chaining the W1s into more damage, and suddenly Hubskoa is the one in the health lead, but as the Frost stacks come in, it's getting a lot more even here.
Hubskoa definitely the master of those W1s right now. The only player I've seen that's consistently doing them.
But you gotta be so careful against this Boomerang. I think Gazelle's landed almost every single one, but as the damage comes out, it's getting a lot more even. One opening could be everything here, but the triple barrel goes wide. The shuffle has to come out, and both players are just throwing everything at the wall right now. And down to the wire again, but what else could it be? A W1.
That's quite a long game. When they were both just going down for chip damage, and the game, I think that was 2.5 minutes.
Kind of wild to say 2.5 minutes is a long game, because the game that I'm currently from, the game length is many times longer than that. But that's a big opening from Bazale. Doesn't get a boomerang at the end though. Hubsco just walking out of it, but the health lead is so valuable when against a deck like Hubsco's.
There isn't a time limit in this game, but there's definitely some pressure that you need to make a play when you're down in health. Great combo from Bazale. Probably the biggest opening of the set so far.
Yeah, and the 3-wide nature of the Frost card, I think, is just a really intelligent choice from Bazale in deck building. I think it is just really coming into play when it's not a true combo, but it just covers a lot of space. But as I say that, that's a true combo. 26 damage from Hubscoa.
Bazale only running one Frost card in their deck, but it seems to be working out for them. And whenever they trigger the Frost with Frost Barrage, they know they're going to get a huge punish off of it.
Yeah, it feels more like a generic 3-wide with the added benefit of a Frost sometime, and it's putting a lot of work. But right now, Hubscoa with a chip preventing Bazale from getting anything started, trying to start something with their own Saffron Chains, but the health has evened up a lot more, and Bazale finds a boomerang for the health lead. Oh, but it gets countered on the rush.
Great reaction by Hubsco there.
Hubscoa now up 2 games to none, even though it's been down to the wire every time, and Bazale's going to need to find something quickly, even though it doesn't feel like they made any really big mistakes, right? Hubscoa just found the outplay at the last moment.
Hubsco is just definitely the master of chipping people down. Gets the shield break, but does not quite get a huge punch that they were looking for. No cards in hand.
And Bazale now looking for something, but doesn't really have any real starters, and it feels kind of bad when you're throwing out the triple barrel like that. Do you think like that's a time to shuffle or something else?
In the same vein, though, it's very difficult to punish that card, especially if Hubscoa doesn't have Spear Wave in hand, because there's just so little lag on it.
Hubscoa though interrupting Bazale a lot on these invades, and Bazale's not really getting to do the step type of gameplay that they want to do.
I think Bazale is the only one in the top in our remaining competitors that's actually running a step spell.
Oh!
Beautiful combo from Bazale. It keeps going. Great extension.
Yeah, Bazale getting the extension is huge, but it's the additional Frost proc is dodged away from by Hubscoa, and we'll see if the step works out, but Hubscoa has been so good at preventing any step nonsense. Finally, a little bit of damage, and the Flame Breath as well. Again, it's another one of these Bazale Hubscoa games that's going down to the wire.
Both of them just looking to chip each other out. Oh, and the W1 Spear Wave takes it.
Well played from Hubscoa. Just figuring out I don't know, just a chip master, I guess.
And then it's very difficult to beat people at the end with chip since there's so much healing, but always manages to find those. Just this deck seems to be designed to deal like 12 to 13 damage combos, which is just about what you need.
Yeah, I guess it's really well designed in that aspect then. Like at the very end, it just finishes very efficiently. The Spear Wave coming into clutch so many times.
Yeah, I kind of want to steal Hubscoa's deck. I actually really like it.
That's high praise. But this time Hubscoa is facing Blue Link, and Blue Link has been very successful so far in the bracket.
This is it's just really going to come down to, can Hubscoa just survive Blue Link's onslaught of high damage cards?
It'll be interesting. Blue Link's defense has been quite solid so far, I believe, but Hubscoa just finds a way. And I don't think these two have faced in this particular bracket, so it'll be new to both of them.
Both these players getting knocked out of winners by Donkey Kong.
Both wanting a chance at revenge here. Maybe it'll be possible, but only one can get that second chance.
Seems like they're both familiar with each other, and we got a Saf Ditto.
Yeah, so much Saffron. I expected more Chiretta in this top 8, but I was incredibly wrong, it appears.
Definitely a lot of Chiretta, but yeah, that's probably the character I've seen the most of so far in the game since the game's come out. It's nice to see Birdium running some Gunner, though. I've seen so little Gunner. And I've also seen so little Queen, so it's crazy that Dr. Conga has made it to Grand Finals with it.
And Blue Link going for some big damage here. The Align Ragnarok, a supplement to the rest of their damage, and didn't really see them going for it as much against Donkey Konga, but just pulling it out here. And it's interesting. I think the Beam Crystal is just an option that works so well, but maybe not as much against Hubskoa's deck. I feel like it could bypass it much better.
One of the best ways they have to bypass it, though, is Spear Wave, and not a bad answer, but they are going -1 mana if they try and answer it like that.
That's a big opening, though. Blowing up the bomb, getting a solid chunk of damage, and Hubskoa feels very familiar with Blue Link, I think. Like, the defense is really good, just dodging everything very, very, like, preemptively.
They're just not letting themselves get the line ragged. That has been Blue Link's moneymaker, so let's see if they can find a way to combo into it at some point.
Oh, he's going for the raw rag, trying to find a way back into this game, but this is where Hubskoa thrives in a health lead like this, just slowly chipping away the opponent, finding an opening with the Saf W1. And even though Blue Link as well has a deck that's pretty good at chipping, I'm not sure if it'll really come into play here.
Both of them just using the Beam Crystal as cover. Although it is Blue Link's crystal, but Hubskoa was doing a great job knowing that Blue Link couldn't actually break it themselves with no cards in hand.
The Spear Wave putting in so much work in this Spear deck. I thought there would be some kind of massive payoff card, but I guess Hubskoa doesn't need that to fish for anything like that. Just consistent damage.
I suppose I'd call it just an honest deck, in air quotes. Nothing that's some crazy damage dealer like a line rag.
Oh, but that's a lot of damage coming in from Blue Link. The game is equalized already, and Tsunami doing a deceptive amount of damage when Hubskoa gets caught by it.
Blue Link hasn't really been able to find those line rags though, but they're definitely getting a lot of chip with cards like Warp Rays and Tsunami.
Especially the Hyper Beam as well, doing a lot of work, almost getting a shield break there as Spear Wave is attempted but doesn't quite connect, and the Boomerang dodging has been on point. Hubskoa getting a bit of a Boomerang warm-up from their last matchup.
Well, in the Beam Crystal counter, I don't know if that was a reaction or a read, but whatever it was, that was beautiful by Blue Link.
Yeah, Blue's been getting a lot of those. The Beam Crystal showing itself to be such a powerful option, and Hubskoa, I feel like Hubskoa was in control of that game for most of it, but Blue Link just found a way back in.
I think Blue Link kind of made an adjustment where they stopped fishing for rags so much and just focused on the other tools their deck has available to them. There's just so much clutter on the field with this matchup, and Hubskoa is very content to be on the back rank, so just hitting the lines is so difficult.
Yeah, Hubskoa, a backline fisher, but the line connects this time. Blue Link gets the massive payoff this time, and that's a huge lead. And Blue Link has so many cards that make it so threatening for Hubskoa to even think about stepping up to try and land a Spear Wave. Does get a little bit of damage, but not quite as much as they wanted. But Hubskoa, other than that one time, is really on point with these aligned dodges.
Looks like Hubskoa is also using aligned Blue Link's using aligned to combo into Boomerang as well, which is not a bad idea. I haven't seen anyone actually do that, which is pretty clever.
Hubskoa's deck really coming in online though. The Spear Waves connecting, the chip damage adding up. But this Ragnarok is always a scary factor. Maybe Blue Link fishing for a little too many of them though. Maybe a little drunk on the success of it earlier, and this time Hubskoa barred from the back row for a moment, but the Boomerang does connect and suddenly the game's even again.
And that Ion Cannon is just putting in so much work, controlling so much of the field. And Hubskoa is playing around it well, but nothing. Ooh, the raw Warp Rays though.
Little Warp Rays, but oh, Blue Link just one tile two back, and another Boomerang connects. One shot is all it takes for Blue Link here. Oh, but an amazing rush from Hubskoa!
Wow, Blue Link threw out the Spark Nova, but right as it was hitting, Hubskoa got a 1 health healed back and just managed to hang on to win the game.
Hubsco has been so good at using this rush at the most clutch moments, and it comes back again here, just using it as that invincible reversal. And maybe a little impatience from Blue Link, it feels like. Again, like you mentioned, going for the Ragnarok quite a bit, and this back row standing from Hubscoa is kind of dismantling the Blue Link deck a little bit.
Both players kind of need to play each other's game here, and Hubsco is definitely just playing the game of realizing they have to respect Blue Link's threats, but Blue Link needs to play the game of realizing to respect Hubscoa's patience.
The Boomerang doing a little bit of chip damage, but Hubscoa sitting on the back row, another rush to immune through anything, and yeah, Hubscoa is just so content to sit back row and to make sure that they don't really get hit by anything too big.
Definitely difficult for Blue Link's deck to get there, but not impossible. And in the meantime, they can also just set up traps like the Beam Crystal and Bomb to slowly push an advantage.
Hubscoa continuing to deal the chip damage. Blue Link though getting a few boomerangs, and that could mean that this game slowly evens up, especially after 14 damage from the Warp Rays, but immediately another Spear Wave comes out from Hubscoa. And I really like this bomb placement when the Kinetic Wave isn't available, but Hubscoa is just constantly Kinetic Waving it every single time, making it not a threat anymore.
Blue Link's bomb placement's been very interesting. Normally we see a lot of players opt to place it right in the back row, but Blue Link's just been putting it in the center of the field, and it's been working out pretty well, just completely restricting Hubscoa's Spear Waves.
Another center bomb, like you said. Oh! That was not how I expected it to end. Hubscoa with the call out. Fishing a little bit.
Oh, there it is, and finally gets that Align Rag they've been looking for and takes the lead early in this game.
But what's important, right? They got an Align Rag in an earlier game that they couldn't really close out. If they commit too hard for the Ragnarok, then it could lead to their downfall. But so far, I think playing the measured game and trying to play around this bomb, trying to limit the movement, but gets caught by the Kinetic Wave, pushing the bomb back towards them.
Hubscoa is just doing a great job whenever they get hit by something huge that Blue Link throws at them, just staying calm and not trying to panic and try and hit some moves really quickly afterwards.
Yeah, limiting damage and stemming the bleeding, but getting counter hit there. Blue Link throwing out some more of those Saffron W1s, the Sparklers coming into play, but Hubscoa just has a lot of tools, I feel like. Well, not a lot, but the right tools at the right time to deal with the bomb, to deal with the Beam Crystal.
Blue Link definitely making a bit of an adaptation of their own, just playing further back and not really letting themselves get hit by the starters like W1 and again, just as I say that, they get rushed.
Hubscoa discarding the hand as the Warp Rays come in, 4 health left. Oh, that's so unfortunate.
There it is, placing the bomb not on the back row, which causes their Spear Wave to blow themselves up.
It's kind of similar. Like, we saw a lot of counter hitting with the Beam Crystal from Blue Link, but I guess it is pretty similar with the bomb as well if it's placed like that. And in this final game, it's game 5, and we're really going to have to see if Blue Link can find a big opening or Hubscoa will just stay solid on the defense in the back row.
And dodges the Align Rag. Haven't seen Blue Link go for one of those in a while, and Hubscoa manages to wait it out.
Oh, but this time Blue Link's consistent weapon of choice is that raw Hyper Beam. You're getting 2 connections on it and creating a bit of a health lead here.
Hubscoa just making sure to keep their side of the field very clean of hazards.
This is where Blue Link is comfortable though. The health lead to play with can fish for something but a good rush to not get caught by the Align.
Oh, also doing a nice job dodging to heal those cracked crystals. Not always going in for it with the ion cannon, but just whenever they feel they have the time.
But Blue Link's been so consistent in calling out Hupsko's movement. I think the adaptations have come in, and that was such a dangerous spot, but Hupsko is surviving. That bomb is so scary, the kinetic wave, and the Align discarded, not going for any sort of fishing here. Blue Link trying to play consistent, but the Beam Crystal gets countered, and that's a lot of defensive power taken away as the game's evened up yet again.
Manages to get out of the Hyper Beam with just one hit. A great defense from Hupsko getting out.
Such a scary bomb, but the Warp Rays don't connect quite well, and the Tsunami used a little bit of damage, but Hupskoa trying to find some kind of spear generation, dodged away from not even one hit of that single spear wave.
Went right down to the wire. Hupsko with the slight lead, but Blue Link definitely has the lethality in their deck to take it back. Such as that Align Rack, but doesn't manage to hit it there.
Just takes the chip damage from the poison, doesn't want to risk it being in the front row. The one beam of the Warp Rays connects. This Hyper Beam attempted, doesn't quite catch the movement this time, but this Beam Crystal could be huge. Cleared away immediately by Hupsko, not trying to risk anything here. The Ragnarok, the Tsunami available, that's a lot of damage. 7 health remaining as the Beam Crystal's cleared away. Hupsko trying to find a little bit of region, a little bit of poke here, and the Warp Rays not connecting either. The Rush available as Blue Link is the one sitting a little bit further behind now, not trying to get caught by anything too easily. Some more chip damage comes through, and Blue Link is really wanting to swing the boomerang. Will clear it out, and Blue Link finds themselves in a rematch in Grands.
That was an incredible end to the game. They were both on 13 health for so long there. That must have been just, I cannot imagine the stress.
And both players playing that endgame so cautiously, removing all of the obstacles, like just immediately, not wanting to stress out about it. And I think that's just a really good way to approach the endgame.
We've been getting some great sets, lots of game 5s.
And we're gonna get at least one more here. It is the grand finals, and Donkey Konga is rematching Blue Link.
Donkey Konga was the one to knock Blue Link into loose bracket, but that set did go game 5, so it's way too early to count Blue Link out.
Definitely, and yeah, just another best of 5, this time with a bracket reset, and this was just a really interesting matchup. But it's really interesting how Hyper Beam has become such a staple in this tournament.
I really do like Hyper Beam on Queen though. Just that combined with the chess piece, just doubling up on controlling just entire rows, just so powerful.
And I think the players using it are so good at limiting one row and baiting their opponent to walk in to the Hyper Beam row, and we're seeing it a lot here. But also, I think a higher than usual concentration of Tsunami as well, especially in these Grand Finals decks. Well, I guess, what are your thoughts on Tsunami, especially in these decks here?
A lot of people, Tsunami was definitely very popular right as the beta of the game was coming out, and people started to drop it over time, but I still think the card's quite good. I run it a lot on Stockkeeper especially. People have definitely gotten a lot better at playing around it, realizing that sticking to the third row is pretty safe. You can just dodge it on reaction, right as Blue Link just did there, but the card is just so nasty with so many other cards in combination.
It's kind of funny how Donkey Kong is actually using Blue Link's own bomb as a line rag defense, and kind of working against the Blue Link a little there.
Blue Link's still opting to put the bombs in the middle instead of the back row, but I wonder if putting it in the back row for this matchup specifically would be a strong adaptation.
We'll have to see as the set progresses, but right now they're in quite a bit of a health lead, landing their pokes quite well as the bomb gets thrown out. Not quite sure if Blue Link's going to be able to use that Hyper Beam, but if it lands, that's a lot of damage, and trying to bait here, covering the dodge with it as well.
Donkey Konga gets the parry, but not quite enough to get out of that. These bombs starting to stack on Donkey Konga's side of the field. Does not quite have the options to deal with them like Let's Go had. Well, yeah, they have Push Blast and Kinetic Wave, never mind, they can deal with them pretty well.
Oh, and the Align countered away the option to use the Ragnarok, no longer on the table, but the Boomerang is more than enough chip damage. Tsunami maybe fishing for something here, but that's a lot of damage.
Takes it with the Boomerang. Blue Link's signature card at this point.
It's looking like a new Blue Link. Didn't really land anything too crazy in terms of a huge damage conversion, but just played that game really well, just controlled the field, and it felt like Donkey Konga couldn't quite get the same level of control that they had in their previous set.
Blue Link's just taking a page out Hupsko's book, taking it nice and slow, just taking nice damage when they can get it, and just trying to stay defensive.
Blue Link now looking for something here, but not quite finding it yet, because Donkey Konga has been the consistent one so far. Kinetic Wave, no. Not quite found. A Tsunami as well, but that Hyper Beam again, so good for both players, and Donkey Konga has a Kinetic Wave as well, can clear away those bombs.
Very interested to see how Donkey Konga is going to use Thunder in this matchup, because they definitely have a lot of cards that can combo into it, like Kinetic Wave, but I haven't actually seen them hit too many of them.
Oh! Donkey Konga gets caught trying to unshield there, and the Align delayed Ragnarok works out, makes it so that Blue Link is in the lead now. And with the Boomerang coming in.
It's definitely better to drop shield there, take the Rag rather than getting broken, especially with the damage Blue Link can do very quickly.
And now Align Rag once again on the table. Blue Link wants to fish for it, but Donkey Konga has already read that one. Like you said, sitting in that third row against Tsunami, so effective for Blue Link, not having to worry nearly as much about it. That's such a good Beam Crystal though, combined with the cracked tiles, 1 health remaining, and the Sparkler as well. Blue Link 2-0 up in the first set of Grands.
Definitely looking a lot more confident in this matchup than they did in the first set against Donkey Konga.
Looking confident, but...
Ooh, there it is. Air Rifle Thunder is also a nice combo, I hadn't thought of.
Yeah, Air Rifle utilized really well by Donkey Konga when I think a lot of people in deck building, especially newer players, treat it as just like a zero cost filler, right? But as we say, that Blue Link responding right back. Do you see Air Rifle a lot in Queen decks?
I don't think I do actually. I don't see Thunder a lot in them either. Definitely a very interesting deck by Donkey Konga. Warp Raise is pretty common here, but Ion Cannon. I haven't seen a lot of these other cards on Queen.
Hyper Beam coming out, and both players just swinging right now, but that Align Ragnarok is always on the table. Comes in, but dodged away from. And Blue Link is so good at landing that though, for chip damage.
Definitely.
Both players slowly trying to find some kind of starter. That bomb barely moved away from by Donkey Konga as they try to navigate this, and Hyper Beam will do a lot of damage, give them the lead. Has to watch out for the Tsunami though, and Blue Link has been getting a lot of Tsunami chip value.
Yeah. Donkey Konga seems wise to be Align Ragnarok at this point, but Blue Link definitely finding other ways to get their damage. Oh, this time Donkey Konga with just a nice combo there. Nothing too complicated, but very effective.
Blue Link's such a massive fan as well of the round start. Hyper Beam gets the Warp Raise as well, and Align Rag is on the table yet again. Donkey Konga has been so good on defense against it, uses the Push Slash, but gets caught pressing a button, and that's a lot of damage right back.
part of the value of both players' deck is they just have so many incredibly threatening cards that you have to be watching out for so many things, and that just makes you weaker at watching out for everything. That's why both players are able to hit so many raw Warp Rays. You have to be so ready to dodge the Align and then Warp Rays.
Oh, just a raw Ragnarok to take the lead. Donkey Konga hitting right back, regenning up to 13, but it's such a massive health lead. And there's so many tools to watch out for. The bomb, the tsunami, the warp rays as well, but it's countered away. Donkey Konga could still make this comeback, especially when the only card in hand is Tsunami, which is just walked away from a Raw Thunder as well. And suddenly the deficit doesn't look that scary anymore.
I like how Donkey Konga has a lot of spots where they like to place each piece. Like, they typically place their bishops in the corner to just cover that diagonal of the field, and they place their knights on their second row. So with the W1, wow.
And Blue Link, a very fast set one of Grands, gets the bracket reset.
Oh, I am pretty dominating show from Blue Link, but Donkey Konga has another set to play with and has definitely started to adapt to Blue Link's playstyle.
They got back into game so fast, I didn't even update the scoreboard, but we are indeed in the Grand Finals reset as Blue Link goes for the Align Rag, gets it, and equalizes immediately despite Donkey Konga the one with the early offense.
Both players are just so locked in right now and out of their minds.
They know exactly what to do here, but it's all about not getting caught out, and right there, this kinetic wave has been so bad for Blue Link. I feel like both of their previous opponents running it to great effect against their bombs.
Yeah, it costs less than Blue Link's bomb to use and turns it against them. It's just very painful. It's the full tsunami.
Full tsunami doing a lot of damage, and the Align Rag now on the table. The chess piece will stop it for now. The raw rag attempted the backstab, the air rifle, a good conversion for Donkey Konga. They're trying to close the game out here, especially with that kind of damage, but they're still a little bit off.
Getting some nice chip damage in there and putting Blue Link at a very scary left total.
Going for the Hyper Beam, but moved away from by Donkey Konga, 8 health. What is necessary to win this game, but still not found as the tsunami comes in. Blue Link trying to chip with some kind of sparkler, anything, 8 health still, and Donkey Konga is playing this front row so well.
Ooh, and reads the movement from Blue Link with a Hyper Beam. Great read by Donkey Konga to take the game. The raw rag off the start.
Unfortunately, getting punished for it a little bit. 17 damage on the table, and oh, what a good push slash as well after the warp raise.
Yeah, that was a crazy interaction.
Despite the shielding though, Blue Link getting a little bit of damage back with the Hyper Beam. The tsunami coming in as well to get a little bit more, but a good parry, and it just feels like Donkey Konga has figured out the matchup again.
Blue Link getting just slightly unlucky getting a Frost off Paragon. They can't really capitalize on it unless they hit 2 more Paragons with Frost, and that's not going to happen.
But like you said, it's hard to account for everything at once when both these decks have so much stuff in them, and these Warp Rays doing a lot of damage for Blue Link, trying to make the comeback here, but this time on the other side, Donkey Konga the one with the Hyper Beam taking the lead, the tsunami coming in, and the Thunder, a huge conversion for Donkey Konga. 16 health to go, but this Align is looking scary. The chess piece stopping it for a moment and preventing the Align from doing anything.
Blue Link just looking for ways to claw back into this game and throwing out these raw moves in, but Donkey Konga not letting Blue Link have them.
7 health remains. The comeback has to be attempted here, but it's going to be difficult, especially when the Hyper Beams are being thrown out. But the Beam Crystal is so good at preventing any sort of movement from Donkey Konga, and bought Blue Link so much time, dodging away from the back stab as well. But Donkey Konga takes the second game in Grand Finals reset.
And minigun's so effective there on the bottom row because the center is just completely controlled by ion cannon. With that, Blue Link's just kind of forced to the side sometimes, and pretty much all of Donkey Konga's beams just completely cover that.
Tsunami comes in, and I think Donkey Konga has become much more aware of the tsunami coming out from Blue Link. I think was getting hit by it way more, but now isn't letting that chip damage up to 9 really affect them as much.
Yeah, they're also definitely much more aware of Warp Rays, which has been a huge source of damage for Blue Link throughout the first set. There's the raw rag they've been looking for.
Raw rag, but it's still a slight lead for Donkey Konga. They don't have to be too concerned, and both of them are just throwing out their raw spells. And finally, another raw connects for Blue Link. The Warp Rays for big damage as the chess piece is the one that takes the hit. Ragnarok available, but the line goes wide. Both players playing so cautiously, not letting the kinetic wave take the bomb all the way, and the boomerang has been quite a challenge so far. The mental stack is so difficult to deal with both of these decks, as Blue Link now looking for something here. The Warp Rays attempted but interrupted, and the minigun, like you said, just such a good option.
Blue Link with a decent lead here, and it's kind of just... They've been hitting their moves just so much more this game. I wonder if they've been doing some sort of adaptation, or maybe they've just been getting lucky.
Nice two-piece from Donkey Konga trying to claw their way back, but it's going to be difficult, especially after that Paragon hits. 6 health, picking up the 7. A raw rag attempted, but there's a lot of potential cards here. The boomerang, the biggest threat at the moment, but Donkey Konga not quite stepping into threat range yet. Boomerang comes out, but it's stepped away from. 4 health is not a lot to work with, though, as this Hyper Beam is going to be attempted soon. Tries to cover the bottom angle, but no, not quite.
Donkey Konga has that 6 to 7 health range, which is a bit awkward for Blue Link to hit. Their cards always do more than that, or Ion Cannon just does slightly less.
5 health now. Donkey Konga slowly chipping down Blue Link's health. The comeback looking very doable here, but has to shuffle, and these Warp Rays so scary. Dodged away from the Align, the bomb. Kinetic wave to the front. Suddenly a lead for Donkey Konga. 4 health remains on Blue Link. Anything can do it here. The minigun not quite landing.
In the Hyper Beam. Great. Donkey Konga really great at reading Blue Link's movement.
It was a game of defense at the end, and Donkey Konga just did not get hit. Survived until the very end and closed it out to be the first champion and the first Supreme Shuffler. I believe that's the title that's going to be given out.
It's a great title. It was just a great tournament overall to watch. It was great seeing just so many interesting ideas by every player in the game. Just so much variety in the decks and great sets.
Well played to Donkey Konga. And yeah, Softlock, well, that was it. That was the first Sunday Shuffle.
Well, a pleasure casting with you, Sai.
Thank you for coming on at quite a late notice. I did not expect so many people to sign up. We had 30 entrants.
Yeah, it's great to see some pretty nice turnout for this, especially so early into the game. Well, I do have to run now. I will see you around.
Yeah, with that, I guess I'll just end the stream then. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, everyone.